Sopra i cieli ancor più su, dolci canti gli angeli, e dai monti fin qua giù, portan gioia ai deboli, gloria in excelsis Deo, gloria in excelsis
Is Gundam? We love Gundam. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, yeah. That's my boy right there. I fucking love Gundam. Hail Gundam. That's right. Hail Gundam. None of those people are here. Sorry. It's just me. My goodness. I can't even hear myself right now. There we go. That's better. Let's do that. Hello. It's late. Christmas is almost over. It's Boxing Day in the UK. And since these were holiday specific super chats, we're going to get to them. And we're going to get to you. And I also want to talk about what I've been doing, which is not a lot over the last couple of days, which is watching Doctor Who Christmas specials and Christmas movies. It's been great. And I sit here as a very proud, super straight male telling you that I watched Love Actually tonight, and I love that movie. There's a lot of potential doctors in that movie. And rest in peace, Alan Rickman. He's in two of my favorite Christmas movies. And we miss him. And he was Snape. Severus Snape. Dumbledore. Remember that video? God, that was a long time ago. I remember watching that in the comic store. All right. I guess we'll get right to it. But I watched 6 Christmas Doctor Who Christmas specials in the last 24 hours. I haven't watched The End of Time Part 1 and 2. We're saving that one because Mahler and and I are discussing watching that via watch party or something, if we can pull it off in the next 24 to 48 hours, probably like Monday or something like that. And then we're going to do a live stream on it. So I'll probably, instead of doing a nooner, do that live stream where we just gush over The End of Time Part 1 and 2 for an hour, 2 or 3, however long it takes. If we can get it together. We're still kind of working on it right now, but I'm sure it'll happen. So welcome everyone. What's up, Eric K? What the hell are you guys? I told the wrenches they did not have to be here. It's going to be very tame tonight, other than the super chats I'm going to read. But yeah, it's going to be pretty chill. I waited. I wanted to give Yellow Flash as much time as I possibly could, but I had to do it when it's still somewhat Christmas Day. We got an hour left here on the West Coast of America. Can you call California America? Parts of it, not all of it. What's up, Mark Lazerth and Eric K and Baffled Buffoon? Bastard is here. Trans conservative waifu. What is up? Darius Munchausen, thank you for the super chat. Merry Christmas to you. Thank you for the $2. Appreciate it. What's up, Van? What's up, CJ? What's up, GT? The Video Gamer 07. Video game. That's good. That's interesting that's your name, because I can segue into what will be happening in the next 7 days. I will be playing Witcher 3. I got it all set up. I got my controller ready. And I'm ready to embarrass myself. And I'll get out of that room. What's up? Is that Demikoi? Let me blow this up a little bit. I'm getting new glasses soon. Getting some new progressives. The salt must flow. It ends up flowing anyway, but I have no intentions. I got a peaceful, easy feeling right now. We watched, we had some ham, good old Christmas dinner, watched some movies, chilled out. We didn't really exchange presents. We did stockings, but since we're moving, it's like if we got each other presents, we just have to pack them and move them. So we're going to have a proper Christmas next year. This one was kind of not. Melissa ended up packing half the day today, so that was her Christmas. What's up, Eric K? Only missed a couple streams in 3 years or so. So why break the streak? I guess at this point, why? Thanks for the $5. You're not supposed to be super chatting, dude. But thank you, Eric. Oh my God, pork. Oh my God, pork. I love pork. Bacon, ham. Bring it. And I guess there's a lot of it in Texas running around. A lot of it in Texas running around. F name, I name. What's up? Merry Christmas. I got called into work today, but it's okay because my family was being annoying. 10 out of 10. Works out that way sometimes. It works out that way. My family was, God, my boys were being good. They were helping mom pack. I think they're eager to get the hell out of here too. What's up, Tim F? How's it going, man? Long time listener watcher here at Nerdrotic. Hail, Tim F. Hail, Tim F. All right. Thank you. We got a $50 super chat here. Hang on. Let me see if I can highlight that. Let me see if that is possible. There it is. Yes, it is possible. Here we go. Look at that. Tobias Gregory for 50 Australian dollars says, good evening from Maroon Bateman, New South Wales, Australia, Gary. I wanted to thank you for just being a really great bloke and helping me keep sane for the last few years. Merry Christmas to you and yours, and all the best in the new year, mate. Best to you, especially in South Wales, Australia. And hopefully our politicians get the picture. I don't think that's going to happen until we vote them out, but if that's even made possible, but it's crazy. It's crazy. It's cold and flu season. That's all I can say. It's cold and flu season. People get sick this time of year all the time. Not sure what's different this time. Omicron. Scott W for $25 says, Merry Christmas and let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. Is Brandon going to make it 3 more years? I don't know. That's a good question. Thank you for the $25, Scott W. I appreciate it. There is a $10 one here. I got that one. Okay, so we're going to get to the... I'm not going to be able to show these, so you'll just have to see my purty face while we go over these, and I'll mix in my thoughts. I'm just going to kind of go over the six Doctor Who Christmas specials, and I guess we could say rest in peace Doctor Who Christmas specials. If we get another one, it's not going to be until 2023. I'm sure Russell T Davies will insist they come back, but will it be worth it to watch it? I'm not really sure at this point. Today was a big day for those of us who love pop culture and would love to see it return. It was never perfect, but return to what it was. Today was a big day. Spider-Man No Way Home hit $1 billion, and it's going to surpass the entirety of the MCU in a couple of days, 3 days. I think it needs to make 1.2 billion to surpass the Eternals, Shang-Chi, and Black Widow. And after a year, and we went over this in detail on Friday Night Tights, after a year of just lies, of moving goalposts, narratives, which are just terms for lying. And why does business do this? Well, I mean, this happens a lot on YouTube. This happens a lot everywhere. You want to project success, and that's great, because sometimes you got to fake it till you make it. It's part of recovery. I get it. But at some point, you need to be successful. You can't just look successful. You need to be successful. Best way to look successful is to be successful. Sometimes, and sometimes people get away with it. But that's why a lot of these corporate YouTube channels like to spend a bunch of money on studios and lighting, and they want to look very professional because they want to give that illusion of success. But if you go back and look at, I don't know about the early days, because I was never a big watcher of, I didn't watch Collider or The Nerdist or regularly. I maybe when they started, but I've always, even before I got into what I'm doing here, when I was at the comic shop, I've always seen them as fake geeks. Because I recognized a lot of them from the LA comedy scene, and it's and the San Francisco comedy scene, and I'm like, and I know I was around when nerds not discovered comedy, but they found out that there was a way to kind of mix in nerddom with comedy. I know that Meltdown Comics, when it was around, they used to do stand-up comedy in their store, but I was doing that before they were at my shop with Comics versus Comics, and it was the idea of mine and a comedian named Bert DeVitri. Um, Talked to Bert about a year ago. I haven't talked to Bert much in the last couple of years. He's been in a couple commercials, and I think he's trying to do some kid YouTube stuff, that educate kids or something. I don't know. I wish him all the luck in the world on that. But yeah, we did stand up comedy in my little shop. We had about 45 people. I think that's what we can fit in max. And it was pretty cool, actually. It was the sale I had afterwards that I liked. I did like a 50% off graphic novel sale afterwards, and I'd be open till midnight and, make a few $1,000. It was nice. It was nice. So we have CC Thorne. Unfortunately, none of the guests are here, none of the crew, so I'm going to have to answer these as best as possible. My apologies, but these are holiday specific. That's why I felt the need to get to them today. I'll try to get to all of them. There was a lot. Thank you. You guys are great. And Jeremy called me last night before we get to this one. And the chat is, and we're not just blowing smoke up your ass. It's very important for me that chat stays up when I keep the videos up on the channel. Because there is a noticeable difference in viewers if the chat isn't up, which should tell everyone how important the chat is to that specific video. Tim Pool live streams, I would say their chat is probably one of the most entertaining things about him, right? And Ricada live streams, the chat is entertaining. You need to have that chat there. It really adds to it. So Jeremy called me, and fuck, you guys were amazing Friday. Like it was just the energy. We felt it. Okay. We felt the energy. And poor Ryan was sick. Quarterback was sick. I was not feeling great either, but it was just due to lack of sleep. I think I had, 3 or 4 hours sleep. And so, I did the best I could last night, but yeah, I know I'm not, I try, but I don't always bring my A game, even though I try. But like you guys made up for it. That was fucking rad. CC Thorne for $10 says, Merry Christmas, Friday Night Tights. A little gas money to get your mom out of Cali, Gary. Hail to the Fellowship, Gundam and Mauler. Hope everyone has a blessed week. I hope so too. I passed on Christmas wishes to everybody. It looks like the guys had a good Christmas. A lot of people live streamed today, which is good because not everybody can be around family. Not everybody wants to be around family. Some people have to work. There's some truck drivers out there. I bet you there's one listening right now, which was always kind of, I don't know if I had dreams, but I was like, I always thought it'd be cool to have a radio show that truck drivers listen to. So, excuse me. Sorry to dark side fill you there. But yeah, we passed all those on. It was great. It was fun. As far as getting mom to Texas, mom doesn't want to go to Texas. And I think she doesn't want to leave she feels like she's abandoning my older sister who lives in the area. So I guess she's gonna stay. I don't know how I feel about that, but we'll see. I got to cross that bridge when we get there. But I'm going to be closer to my other mom the one in New Mexico, and my little sister. Both of them live in Albuquerque. Kevin Ian Common for $5 says, "Hail to the fellowship. Merry Christmas. Building some fuzz pedals while I listen. Mahler loved the EFAP breakdowns of the Resident Evil movies." Yeah, the only thing I remember about those is Mila Jovovich. Yeah. I was watching Love Actually, and I forgot how. I don't know if anybody out there watched it, but if you remember the secretary who was seducing Alan Rickman's character, I forgot how hot she was. She was a saucy mix too. She just wanted the necklace. It took me like 10 viewings to go, oh, that bitch just wanted the necklace. Damn. Hail to the crew. It's good to see Gundam and Mahler. I was listening to a gun podcast that mentioned you, Gary, and Critical Drinker, where they like your videos. Keep up the good work, guys. A gun podcast? Cool. I wish I could shoot guns. That's nice of them to say. I appreciate that. Hopefully I find out which one so I can listen to them. So thank you, Short Red 5555. Oi Wine for £2 says, Natalie Lewin, it's Welsh for Mahler. I didn't know that. Is it? You could just tell me that and I'm going to believe you because I can't speak Welsh. I'm not even sure I knew it was a separate language until I saw oh my God, why am I blanking on the name of the Country File? Before Doctor Who. Wolf. See, I have a hard time saying it. Wolf. I go Wolf. Wolf Vermilion for £10. That's proper money. Gary, as I ordered my first hot toy, Spider-Man with upgraded suit and Doc Ock tentacles. What do you think about the figure? Absolute love the movie. Have great Christmas, guys, and stay strong. Keep up the good work. I think I read that one last night, but it's fine. That's a good suit. I think that's a good figure because you can have the upgraded suit and the Doc Ock tentacles for another figure later. I've got an upgraded suit right down there. Oh, that's the other thing. I start packing up the office tomorrow. The pinball machine is leaving. The Spider-Man video game is leaving. The truck leaves Wednesday. If the first truck, it's going to take 2 or 3 because we've got stuff in San Francisco. And basically, aside from the shelving unit right here, this pinball machine you can't see, and this video game, I'm moving everything in here. Nobody's touching this shit. Only me. Only me. That way, if I fuck it up, I fuck it up. Ryan Kinnell's shorn scrotum for $50. There's nothing like a shorn scrotum. It's really quite breathtaking. Merry Christmas, Merry Yule, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Holidays to the Fellowship from the Goblin King in Goblin Town. Kai 6 for $5. Quickly becoming one of my favorite shows, D-Day Cobra, epic video about Biden getting trolled and saying, "Let's go, Brandon." Yeah. That's funny. Oh, let's see if I have that video. I think I still do. Hang on. Because that was part of the intro yesterday. Here we go. FNT cold open. There we go.
DeSaulnier, who is a member of the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee of the Congress of the United States. He brought to that committee his experience as a local official, as a member of the state legislature. This is it. So, in any case, Mark DeSaulnier.
Yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas as well. Merry Christmas, and let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon. I agree. and the light source is hitting the right side of his face.
Oh, we don't need to see him. Maybe later. He said he wasn't. You know what? I'm never going to let Campio live that down. Not for a million years. What do we got here? Sith Lord Jar Jar wishes you a Merry Christmas. Pork lamp. Thank you for the $1.99. Merry Christmas to Sith Lord Jar Jar as well. And it was nice to meet you. Hey, what's up, Tom? Merry Christmas, Tom. How's it going? Well, Tommy's here. And we got Tom never sleeps. I don't know how that guy does it. VBDC Venice Beach Dub Club for $49.99. Wow, you're on again. Merry Christmas. This is my second ever super chat. We can still do this. What's your all-time favorite Christmas special? By the way, my new album, Pure Bloods, drops. Oh, I love that name. New Year's Eve. If anyone wants some very based reggae music, I would love to hear some based reggae music. I used to not like reggae very much, and then I took one of those. I took a couple of cruises down to the Caribbean, and fell in love with it. Loved it down there. Except for Barbados. Barbados was weird. Okay, so something was going on politically there. So we get there, and they're like, "Don't wear camouflage," and we're like, "What?" And they're like, "Yeah, don't wear camouflage. It's considered revolutionary and it'll get you in trouble." Well, my wife had a camouflage bikini, and I was wearing camouflage fucking cargo shorts. It was the 90s. So, yeah, it was a bit of a problem. But we were in a cab going down to a private beach at a hotel, and a car almost like carjacked us. Like a bunch of dudes, two vans pull up, a bunch of dudes come out. Like one of them's got a fucking machete. And I mean, the cab driver had balls. We had a car in front of us, and I don't know how the fuck he did it. He just fucking ran the red light, got us the hell out of there, got us to the hotel, and he earned a big fat $200 tip. That was weird. Yeah, so there was something going on at Barbados at the time. It was the late 90s. I don't know if it's still going on there. But thank you. I appreciate that. What's my favorite Doctor Who Christmas special? Aside from End of Time, it's Voyage of the Damned. And the biggest difference between Russell T Davies Christmas specials and Stephen Moffat Christmas specials is Stephen Moffat is a romantic. He's a big sap. His stuff is very sappy. And that's cool. I like it. But Russell T Davies kills people and makes them more tragic. He's really into the tragic hero thing, and that's what he did so well. You know, Astrid Peth, her name was Astrid Peth, and she died to save us all. And yeah, that Voyage of the Damned is just a great episode. I'm a Time Lord. I'm from Gallifrey. I love that line. Just fucking gives you goosebumps. Yeah, Voyage of the Damned for sure. Also, it is the most viewed Doctor Who episode along with City of Death. Both episodes got 13 million people watching. So 13 million people watch. Those of you in the States who aren't Doctor Who fans, 13 million people watching in a country of 61 million people. That's over 15% of the population of the country was watching Doctor Who. That's how big it was. So those two episodes, at least according to Wikipedia when I read it, said the City of Death and Voyage of the Damned are the two most watched episodes, period. But they, for some reason, thought it was a good idea to remove Doctor Who from the Christmas slot, which Stephen Moffat later said that you couldn't get back. So that's why they rushed out and did Twice Upon a Time. because initially they weren't going to do it, but they didn't want to lose the spot. Chris Chibnall, in his infinite wisdom, decided to give it up, and now they can't get it back. They can't get it back. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You guys are crazy. I'm trying to do a square up here. You know that, right? Hang on. There it is. Holy shit. Will Meldman for $100. Thank you. Hope you had a great holiday today. I did. I really did. You've been a grounding source of sanity for me in these woke times, and I sincerely appreciate what you do. I've come to realize more people are anti-woke than I suspected. After talking to older family and friends today, good signs. We've always been the majority, and I know in your heart, Will, even though we probably haven't met, I know in your heart that when you say anti-woke, I know in my heart when I say anti-woke, nobody is saying we're anti a religion, how people want to identify, the color of your skin, none of that. I think a lot of us might be anti-Marxist. I'm happy to admit that. Very anti-Marxist person. Not a big fan of the Marxism. No, I don't like it at all. And I will not live in a system like that. But aside from that, none of us are against. We're fans of the arts. Okay, so there is no such thing as an alt-right white supremacist Doctor Who fan or Star Trek fan or Star Wars fan. And it's about as crazy as a conspiracy theory as you can get. But they love to project that shit. They really do. Once again, and this this goes all the way back to that real BBC. It's a month ago now, maybe a little longer, where Mahler, Az, and I just on thanks to a super chat, we gushed about Doctor Who for about an hour, which made me go back and start watching it, which I had done regularly for years and just kind of gave up on since the Timeless Children. And yeah, I'm just reminded on how much I love the show and how great it was. And Voyage of the Damned is just damn near perfect television to me. Everything about it. There's so many setups and payoffs, right? So you immediately get to meet this couple, right? This little couple that won tickets and they're being made fun of by the rich people there. We find out later that the wife called 5,000 times to win the tickets, so she basically built up the phone bill so much that they could have paid for the tickets, and it just showed how much. And the husband's like, I forgive you because I love you, and then they both die. That's Doctor Who. They set you up. Russell T Davies loves to set you up like, oh, look at this cute nice couple. They're dead. And he has like the one rich asshole live, but it sets up the entire fourth season and the specials and everything with Mr. Copper talking to the doctor at the end. The rich guy says, hey, doctor, thanks for saving my life. And I bet against Max, the guy who ran the ship. So this whole incident made me rich. And Mr. Copper's all, not the guy I would have picked to survive. But if you had that kind of power, you'd be a monster. And that sets, we have the loss. He's still dealing with the loss of Rose. He's dealing with and then, he's starting to feel every single loss. When the doctor, back when he lost people, he'd be sad, but he'd move on. But he's starting to really feel the loss here, especially after the Time War. And this is a through line throughout the entire RTD run. And it has a great climax. I mean, the whole thing sets up Waters of Mars, which I think Time has been kinder to. I remember when it came out, people liked it, but now it's revered, as it should be. But it really sets up End of Time too, and that's it's and just the connectivity of it. And Mr. Copper, of course, he was there, and he helped set up the Mr. Copper Foundation. Was in the last was at the end of season 4, and just RTD was really good at tying up his loose knots. Much better than Moffat was. Moffat was more red herrings. He was more mystery box than RTD, which really worked when he was under the restraint of another showrunner. But when Stephen Moffat went off on his own, had some misses, had some hits, but had some misses. I did watch A Christmas Carol. I love A Christmas Carol. It's sappy as hell, but it's great. And if you think about the concept of it, it sounds ridiculous, but you could tell, well, Moffat and RTD were both massive Doctor Who fans and Hitchhiker fans. And I think that's why so many people love this show, because there's so many like little Hitchhiker references and big Hitchhiker references, and they absolutely occupy the same world. There's a meetup I'd like. Arthur Dent and the Doctor. Marvin, the paranoid android, and the Doctor. Come on, that'd be great. It'd be fantastic. Thank you for the $100. I appreciate you. And as far as the anti-woke, proudly anti-woke. Proudly. It's destroying everything. And to be just a conduit is for all of this is my sincere honor. Space Dinosaur for $5 rewatched the anime Freedom from 2006. What a great message about hope for humanity. Going to the stars. Oh, I'll have to check it out. I haven't even heard of it. This is the first I've heard of it. But thank you, Space Dinosaur, for $5. I appreciate it. There's a world of anime and manga I could just dive into if when I decide to hang it up, pass the torch, let somebody else go. And because like, to be real, I would never want to tell you that we're going to have a complete and total victory, because we're not. And I don't, that's not really what I'm aiming for, honestly, because this is an evolving thing. I think we can win by bringing sanity back in the world. And I think that day might be coming. Because fortunately for all of us, the woke aren't that bright. Educated, but not bright. And they tend to do things like overplay their hands, and then they do themselves in, and they do our work for us. Like trying to put CRT in everything. They overplayed their hand with that one, and it bit them in the ass. You know what? Defunding the police. And I will preface this by saying, not the biggest fan of the police. I'm not a fan of an organization that helps keep order, that sometimes supports things that I find unlawful. But that being said, there has to be some order. Now, most of it was just us. And that order is it is an illusion. And when that illusion is broken, that leads to serious problems. And that's why I left San Francisco. The illusion of order has been broken there. Nobody respects nor is worried about the police. So that leaves shop owners vulnerable, innocent people vulnerable. And nobody is protecting them. To where even London Breed, the illustrious mayor of San Francisco, cussed and was upset about what was going on in the Tenderloin. Well, listen, sweetheart, that's been going on in the Tenderloin for decades. And it's not just the Tenderloin's if you've never heard of it, it's where you go get hookers and drugs. And it's very easy. You could be a first-time buyer. It'd be a very easy experience for you to just walk up, you park. I won't tell you where to park. You park somewhere, and you just walk up to the Tenderloin and go, I need some Coke, and you'll get it. It's that easy. You and Az should do a vid deconstructing Game of Thrones season 8. Ask Kelly Johnson for $2. Yeah, I wasn't when that all happened, which helped blow up this channel. I wasn't doing like breakdown reviews. I was still learning how to do that. I could do that. I would come at it, and I would love to do it with Az, and I think Mahler probably should be there too, if they want to do it someday. Because I could just really break down where the books parted ways and what things they left out of the books from the get-go that ended up biting them in the ass. The one example I love to use is Harry Potter. So J.K. Rowling was telling Warner Brothers forever, don't leave out the house elves. They're kind of important. They're really important. And what they do, they left out the house elves. So you get this Dobby thing at the end. And it still like had emotional impact, but it would have had much more emotional impact if you would have left in all the stuff that was really necessary. They made some dumb decisions. So what they did the same thing with Game of Thrones. Leaving out Lady Stoneheart was stupid. I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff they didn't need to put in, and it led to absolute failure. It was a combination of a lot of things. It's Dan and Dave's fault, and it's George's fault, and in a way, it's HBO's fault. Because if you got a show that's successful, why do you have to stick with showrunners? HBO owns the show, so they can go, Dan and Dave, thank you. If you guys are tired, you can move on. You can remain EPs, and we'll bring somebody else in, and we'll keep it going. In normal circumstances, you would probably end any show at 8 seasons, but Game of Thrones was their viewers were going up, astronomically going up. So whatever salaries that went up as well would be covered by the immense amounts of subscriptions HBO was getting. Anyway, they were making money hand over fist on that show. And I would argue they merchandised it horribly, just terribly. Whoever ran the merchandising rights for Game of Thrones was an idiot. It took them years to get action figures going and stuff. They should have been going by season 2. It was obvious by season 2, like there's something special here. But what happened to the show is, Peter Dinklage came out, and I like Peter Dinklage. Maybe he was drinking. He tends to drink during interviews. I don't know, but he kind of blamed some of the backlash on the fans, like a lot of the other actors did, because they were bitter that the show took a shit. And the reason that, Peter Dinklage said the white people wanted all the white people, they wanted all the white people to ride off into the sunset. Well, essentially that's what happened. No, those of us who read the books and understood the show, no, that's not what we didn't expect John to be the chosen one. John getting exiled to the wall at the end is a happy ending for John. That's where he wanted to be. An unhappy ending for John would be being the chosen one. So that is a way you could subvert the expectations, is you got a chosen one who doesn't want to be a chosen one, even after he's the chosen one. And I have no doubt that he was the one who kills Daenerys at the end. They just needed a lot more time to set it up. Another year, easy. And they needed George to finish the fucking books, which he didn't do. But it became... I also think George set out to subvert tropes. And there are 2 very distinct fandoms with the Song of Ice and Fire. So there's the people who, There's probably 3. So there's, aside from just the people who watch the show, but from the book readers, there are the people who enjoy the story and kind of take it for what it is and read into it a little bit. And then there's the Song of Ice and Fire theorists out there who really throw in a ton of their own agenda on top of George's agenda and just assume a lot about George. Without remembering that George is a fan, whether you like him or not. He's a fan of Tolkien. He might set out to subvert some of the stuff, but he fucking loves it. He's a nerd. He's a fan of like the Fantastic Four from the 60s. So while he'll try to do, while George is an atheist and he'll put all kinds of stuff, he's still writing a fantasy novel. So we got one major theorist out there, Preston Jacobs, who I watch, and he does some good stuff, but he's just convinced that there's no magic in A Song of Ice and Fire, which is just patently not true. Which is just not true. How do you explain like little shadow babies coming out of Melisandre's fucking vag? Is that supposed to be a trick of the light? No. And then it went and killed oh god, I'm blanking on his name now. Killed the guy in Storm's End, and then Stannis's killed his little brother. And then there's Bran going back in time essentially and stuff. That's magic. It's fucking magic. There we go. Merry Christmas and best of luck with the move. Merry Christmas. President is a short super chat so you can focus on square ups. Oh, dude, it's fine. Thank you for the $50, Daniel. Love you, man. Stannis is the Manus, by the way, who's still alive in the books. So no, back to that real quick. No, I think George rewrote his ending, and I think he rewrote his ending not because of the fucking show. I don't think it had anything to do with the show. And I talked about this. Maybe I'll reset it in the video. It has everything to do with the wokerati that has invaded science fiction and fantasy, and they are worse than Marvel Comics and Hollywood and fucking anywhere else you can think of combined. I mean, they're the militant wing of woke intersectional feminist in pop culture is science fiction and fantasy. You're not winning an award. You're not winning a Hugo unless you're writing like what do they call it now? It's like it's Afro science fiction or something like that. I'm like, what the? I mean, just write fantasy or adapt some other mythology. There's a bunch of it out there. You can translate it and adapt it. But I think he's afraid to get canceled. And I think it's going to affect, it already has affected his writing. Like the most recent A Song of Ice and Fire thing he has written is little bits of Fire and Blood, which was not good. Christmas movie thought: is Ellen Griswold the girlfriend from A Christmas Movie? Thanks for everything this year. From A Christmas Movie, from A Christmas Story? Because that's what's the name of the mom in A Christmas Story is the mom in A Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and I'm blanking on her name right now. Mary. Melinda Dillon. That's right. No, it's Beverly D'Angelo and Melinda Dillon. Romeo Spess for $50 says, here's to catching up. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you too. To you too. I appreciate it. Thank you, Daniel. All right, so here we're gonna get. Here we go. And I got to remember to blank these out for X-Ray Girl so I don't confuse her even more. I just, oh, am I going to sneeze? It felt like I was going to sneeze for a second there. I just now realized I asked you that twice. I thought I botched my super chat the first time. Anyway, have a great time with the families. It says Wolf Vermillion. And that is okay. You don't have to send a super chat. It's all good. We'll still read it again. Sorry that I wish I could refund you for that. Right. And then we got Hail Friday Night Tights. I'm a huge fan. Keep it up. Going. Keep it going. You're the tip of the spear, filling that huge culture void. Have any of you watched Street Fighter Assassin's Fist? Hands down, best video game ever made. A must watch. I have not. If it's a good movie, cool. I don't mind if it's a video game. Speaking of video game adaptations, The Witcher. Yeah, The Witcher. It's just when I walked out of Spider-Man No Way Home, I'm like, okay. The optimist in me wants to go back and tell you that this is it. This is the turning point. This is it. But it's not. I definitively do not think it's the turning point at all. I think that Hollywood has to lose a lot more. I think they're going to probably read the tea leaves wrong like they've read all the other times. You know, you can't really compare this. People have been comparing to The Force Awakens, which you just can't, because The Force Awakens did not fulfill any promise. It was clickbait. And clickbait, the very definition of it is it gets you to watch something, but the title doesn't really address what's in there. It's the difference between, like, is somebody fired? And if you put a question mark on there. Now, if you're talking about, is this person fired, and you're speculating the whole time, it's technically not clickbait. That's what you talked about. Is it hyperbolic? Yes, it's supposed to be. But Star Wars is Star Wars, especially when you say, hey, Han, Luke, and Leia are going to be in the trilogy again. You fully expect them to be together at some point. And then they just don't do it. That's cruel. That's cruel, but it's also lazy. And that's a trademark of Jar Jar Abrams. He took an opportunity and he squandered it. And they made a bunch of money anyway, because that's the strength of the brand. That's the strength of the original trilogy. But now, when we see something executed correctly, not only correctly, they weaved it into the narrative and it worked. I can nitpick it, and I have. I don't think it's really nitpicks. I think there's some legit questions. But you cannot deny that seeing all three of them together, working together, fighting together as Peter and Spider-Man fucking worked on every level. And it just made people happy. And it just exposes Lucasfilm that much more. They're not interested in telling Star Wars stories. They're interested in pushing messages. And Star Wars is their vehicle. And they're going to do everything at their disposal to get you to watch. So you'll buy some shit, and they'll continue to push their narrative, their message, their intersectional feminist message that all masculinity is bad. Good luck telling a good story without masculinity, especially when it's action, adventure, and sci-fi. Star Wars is fantasy, sci-fi, action, adventure. Good luck telling that story with no dudes fighting dudes, ever. and a whole lot of girl bosses to where it's noticeable and it's becoming a Disney trope. Oh, look, somebody's going to be in charge. It's going to be a woman, and it's going to subvert your expectations. Thank you, Zenny Biscuit, for $12.25. I appreciate it. Stargate 404 for $5. Merry Christmas and God bless. God bless to you too. Thank you, Stargate 404. Joe for $4.99 says, "Hail Friday Night Tights. My brother-in-law and I have a disagreement about who is better in the MCU, Natasha Romanoff or Yelena Boleva. Thoughts? Happy holidays." Natasha Romanoff. Yelena might have the funny Russian thing. I don't know, got old. My fallopian tubes, and you like macaroni? I like macaroni. Don't you know? I just, I can't see her ever reaching the heights of Scarlett Johansson. For one, Scarlett Johansson's like classic Hollywood beauty, and when they write her correctly, Black Widow is badass, including the Avengers. Her best scenes are in the fucking Avengers when Joss Whedon is writing her. It's better. And in Winter Soldier, she's great in Winter Soldier as well. She's horrible in her own movie, which she isn't the focal point of. Yelena is B Team Black Widow. And she's from the comics. And she didn't catch on in the comics because she ain't Black Widow. Not everything's a mantle. Not because, for one, the mantle has to be good enough, right? Black Widow is very generic mantle that's not going to catch on if it's anybody other than Natasha. And what made Black Widow popular, because she was just a character, she was just character, comic book character, until Frank Miller got a hold of her. And then the rest of the team on Daredevil. Daredevil really made her what she is, the comic book run. And I mean beyond Frank Miller. And a lot can be said about a lot of characters. You know, Hawkeye, they had an opportunity to tell a good Hawkeye story here, and they just used it to introduce more characters. And that's all this shit's going to be. And that's when Eric July used the term nostalgia bait. That's exactly what it is. Was it nostalgia bait in Spider-Man No Way Home? I would say yes, for it to reach the stratosphere like it did, it was because of Toby and Andrew Garfield. It just happened to work. Don't think it's going to work in Flashpoint, because your star, Tom Holland, is better than I would rather watch him in a movie than Ezra Miller. I mean, Ezra Miller was was the worst thing in the Snyder Cut. He had a pretty good scene. It's just very difficult for me to see a chemistry between him and Iris West. I think what helped that scene was the song. That's the power of music. Natasha's better. Tell your brother-in-law, if he wants to stay married to your sister, I'm just assuming it's your sister, that he better get his shit straight. Hail to the crew. It's good to see Gundam and Mahler. I was listening to, I read this one. Okay. Merry Christmas. Oh, I read that one too. Hail to all. Thanks to having been deployed to Saudi Arabia for Desert Shield and Desert Storm. I have the rare distinction of being at Bob Hope's last USO Christmas Eve show in 1990. Merry Christmas and bless you all. Oh, that's epic. I fucking love Bob Hope. Bob Hope used to always have, like Christmas specials and stuff when I was a kid. Never missed them. He lived in this big bitchin' house on the side of a mountain in Palm Springs that you can drive by and see to this very day. Yeah. He used to always come to San Diego to golf or go to the horse races. Bing Crosby used to come to San Diego all the time, go to the horse races down at Del Mar. A lot of old Hollywood used to come down here and party. Time Traveler steps on a bug. The Timeline, Nerd Rotten, and Geeks and Gherkins presents Thursday Night Taints. Merry Christmas on all. Oh boy, is that the bug effect? The bug effect. John Bauer for £5 British. Let's hope not. Oh, and I read that one too. Wow, that's good. This is why I need to remember to blank them out, or poor X-Ray Girl will be confused. I know Matrix 4 was a train wreck, but it had an excellent score. I didn't think so. Pauly D for €9.99. That's the one thing I was doubly disappointed in, is I thought the Matrix had a great score and a great soundtrack, and their use of music was brilliant. And I thought everything about the Matrix was generic and boring. It was so generic and boring that the woke messaging that they were most definitely trying to put in didn't make it. It didn't land. I would really love to know how they took back the red pill when nobody is going to see your movie. What did it make? What did the Matrix 4 make this weekend? So Spider-Man No Way Home did another $100 million. Nobody's talking about the Matrix. Matrix, this is, here we go. Oh, it's Scotty Mendelson. My name is Scotty Mendelson, and I really love cuties. Let's talk about why the Matrix 4 is bombing. Sing 2 is soaring while Matrix 4 is bombing. My name is Scotty Mendelson, big cuties fan, and I cover the film industry. Illumination's Sing 2 earned another $5.25 million, minus 30% for a 3-day total, blah, blah, blah. Don't give a shit. Let's talk about The Matrix. It's a dumb animated movie that I'm never going to watch. Thank God my kids are grown up and I don't have to watch fucking shit like this anymore, because I fucking watched every fucking animated movie that fucking came out in the aughts. Every single one. And there was some good ones, okay? But just remember, there's 2 films I worked on that, like, I have a little twitch in my eye sometimes, and it comes back when we talk about them. One of them is Sucker Punch. I worked on Sucker Punch. There was a lot of problems with that DVD, right? Not the Blu-ray, the DVD. So I had to run it through fucking QC, and the project manager, who was one of them was great. One of them was absolutely a great person, great at his job. And then there was one who was really hot and she sucked at her fucking job. So I had to run it through the project managers, and I had to run it through QC 150 times. So I watched the ending of Punchline and Mars Needs Moms. See, the twitch is going to start coming back. Oh, where's Matrix? Okay, here we go. Warner Bros. Matrix Resurrections is proving to be a front-loaded affair. The Keanu Reeves, Carrie-Anne Moss sci-fi. Keanu, like, I like Trinity. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's a lesbian, but I thought Carrie-Anne Moss was hot as Trinity, just completely hot. Like, yes, leather, bike, kung fu, fuck yeah. Hell yeah. The actioner earned $2.7 million on Friday. $2.7 million. I think Critical Drinker earned that on Friday. For a 13.5 million 3-day cum. Holy shit. I said 30. $30 from Wednesday to Sunday. Woo! Yeah, everybody watched it on HBO Max. I wonder if it got him a bunch of subs. Oh, I'm so glad I didn't see it in the theater. Lucamus Prime for $4.49 says, "Hey guys, I want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas, especially to as he has 2 hours before midnight. Tomorrow is also my 22nd birthday too." Well, happy birthday, Lucamus. 22. I could promise you're in a better place right now than I was, because I was in prison when I turned 22. For Papa Gundam's tuna, says Mobile Crusader. I'll make sure he gets it. Tuna sandwich. Have yourselves a very Merry Christmas. Hail Friday Night Tights from Ashcore on the Streamlabs side for $25. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Speaking of Streamlabs, I should check that. Big fan of you guys. Thanks for everything. MC says Seth Williams, a Merry Christmas for $3. Thank you, Seth. I appreciate it. Thanks for supporting us via clicks, via your time, your valuable time. Time is money. Time is money. We're finding that out with the move. Moving's that's why we're packing our own stuff. Jay Hardy for $25 on the Streamlabs side says, "Merry Christmas. Hope the move is going well." It is. I haven't taken part in much of it. The brother, JT, who is Melissa's brother, John Travis is here, and the boys are taking care of it. And I took a day off, and then I'm back to work tomorrow, and the move will go well. It'll go well. I can't wait to see my house that we bought that I haven't seen yet. I can't wait to get that studio going. We're gonna start soundproofing it hopefully this week. Black Lotus 30 for $15.62. Have a happy holidays and best wishes for you next year, and to you too. Thank you. I appreciate that. And Jay Hardy, thank you for the $25 on the Streamlabs side. Craig Lee Lawrence Experience for $2 says, "The Metrics was exactly what I thought it would be." That is probably the best description of it. The Craig Lee Lawrence Experience, the Metrics. The Metrics. Oh, we got a new $20 one here. Where'd it go? Robert Lewis for $2 says, "Been sleeping on this channel. Love from Blythe, California." Well, thank you. I appreciate it. You can waking up to whenever you like. That's good. That's good. YouTube has, I mean, this is happening to everybody. So I'm not, this isn't a thing that's specific to me, but since the COOF, a lot has changed around here. A lot has changed on how they recommend stuff. Since the election, a lot has changed on how they recommend stuff. So if your channel, just think of, there's a big bubble and there's a bunch of little bubbles. Remember, I'm forgetting the name now, the shitheads who put my channel and other channels in specific categories based on a few things that we talked about, right? Some people like Tom from Midnight's Edge were put in the right-wing category, and they specifically said, "Hey, I don't want to be there. I'm an entertainment thing." And they rarely talk about politics, like rarely, if ever. And they were removed. Me, I mean, like, ultimately, I didn't give a shit. I was like, whatever. You can just, what the fuck ever. I didn't think they would change their minds. They ended up changing their minds about me and put me more in the centrist thing, which is fine. Again, I don't care. But when that happened, shit changed. YouTube also put the clamp down during the election and like stuff that did not happen before. Like, for example, Az and I both gained, I think, 10 subscribers in a month. That's like never happened since my channel started growing. Like, just never. So you'd have, my videos would be doing the same. You just wouldn't get as many subscribers. So that's when I started, like, the whole subscriber thing. I've started, like, once you start questioning the integrity of YouTube, and I know a lot of people are like, what? But like, seriously, when the majority of your audience starts questioning the integrity of the numbers you're showing us, then your whole thing falls apart. For one, there's no reason to lie other than to maybe amp things up for advertisers. But if they get caught doing that, then people go to jail because that's major fraud. So I'm sure they are watched on that front. But it's all about that illusion of integrity. And if you break that illusion with your audience, you're dead. So that's why it was really dumb for YouTube to get rid of the dislike button. You get rid of a form of interaction, especially when you've got another site that, I don't think it's going to kill. I don't think TikTok's going to kill YouTube. I think it's another option. Maybe it is what Instagram could have been. But either way, it's now more viewed than Google. I still have a problem with it being Chinese owned. Oh, I know they're not anymore. Do you really believe that? Do you really believe the Chinese company went, okay, we'll sell you? Come on. So that's why I'm not over there. Oh, boy. Where did that go? I just saw. Give me just a second here. There it is. Dan Haunts for $20 says, my gift to you, Gary. Thank you for all you do. Your channel and Friday Night Tights helps me through a lot of the through all the times my daughter isn't here. And you and the FNT family are my family. When I say to my daughter, all hail, she says FNT. That's awesome, Dan. Get them young. Radicalizer. Maybe that should be I haven't thought of a good shirt yet. Get radicalized. Something to that effect. The only thing you can do is laugh when your detractors, when all they have is, well, they're a January 6th insurrectionist and a fascist. Why? Because he said a bad thing about the Marvel thing I like. He pointed out why he didn't like it. He pointed out that in all the Disney Plus series, there are, I could be off on this count, 11 girl bosses, meaning 11 women who are in charge of powerful organizations, to 1 or 2 men who ended up losing power of their organizations at the end, at the hands of a woman. To the point where it's so obvious and noticeable. To deny it is silly at this point. But no, because I explain why I don't like things and why I think things have become, platforms. Part of it is they've come out and said it. So I have video evidence. I have receipts. What the opposition cannot do is create a video convincing you that they love the thing they're defending, because they don't. They don't like us. They don't like you. They are constantly insulting you in the audience. Those people must be brain dead. They must be retarded. They must be this. They must be that to follow these people. It kind of makes you not want to watch them. The problem is they don't realize that you're smarter than they are. That you know that they aren't convincing you that they love this stuff. They are just trying to convince you that they don't like us specifically, a guy in his room surrounded by action figures. And they don't realize that the power that they think I have, they are giving me. I don't perceive myself as having that kind of power over fandom or anything else. The power is with you. And they very much want to have channels that are talking about entertainment that are successful, but they can't do it. So they focus their energy on individual fans, something I don't do. You'll notice I don't do that because God, this is going to sound terrible, but I love this shit. I'm defending stuff I love. I mean, I don't hate Daredevil. I don't hate Spider-Man. I don't hate Marvel Comics because Marvel Comics doesn't exist anymore. I don't like Disney. There is no Marvel. There is only Disney. Marvel does not exist. On the Real BBC this Tuesday, we're gonna go over, this is a tease, we're gonna go over a couple of things showing you how much Marvel doesn't exist anymore. That the thing that you loved and grew up, buying when you could afford 5 to 6 comics off the rack that'll entertain you for a couple of hours when you get back from school or as an adult or when you're in prison or you're in the hospital waiting room with a loved one, wherever you cracked open a comic just to either be taken away for good reasons, for whatever reasons. That's what escapism is for. In moderation, by the way. Not that I know anything about moderation, but moderation. Simply saying a thing doesn't make the thing a thing. Giving Kate Bishop an animated origin during a credits scene in the beginning of the first episode is not complex and it's not enough. Yes, they did show us some animated characters doing some things that you can call an origin. That's not enough for me to call her a complex, well-developed character that's deserving of taking the Hawkeye mantle. And they've done more in the comic books, but they really didn't do any of the adapting from the comic books at all. So saying they simply have a backstory isn't enough. Miles Morales, like I said, people like the idea of Miles. I completely agree with Eric July on this. Miles Morales is a Spider-Man, but no different than I would argue that Ben Reilly is more of a Spider-Man than Miles Morales. There he is right there. Miguel O'Hara. Or Peter Parker Spider-Man. He's got decades of classic stories. Name me 5 classic Miles Morales stories. You can't. Thank you, Dan Hans. I appreciate it. Merry, now belated Christmas, and hope your move goes well. Hope life in Texas suits you. Emery Kalam for $50. Thank you very much. And that's right. It is Boxing Day here in the States. Christmas is over. I consider this Christmas still. It's the holiday season. I don't take down my lights. I don't do shit until like after New Year's Day. So I'm good. Just no Santa shit. That's about it. Little baby Jesus had a birthday. That's great. Happy birthday, baby Jesus. And happy winter solstice to all you people against goodness and normalcy out there. Having sex with your trees, running around naked. Thank you for the $50. I appreciate it. All right, we'll get back to this. All right, real quick. The other I watched one Doctor Who Christmas special that many people may disagree with me on this one. I don't care, but I think it's the Die Hard, not in plot, but just in it's got Christmas in it, and it's not considered a Christmas special. It's called The Unquiet Dead. It's an episode written by Mark Gatiss. Has Simon Cowell in it as Charles Dickens, and it's a great performance by him. He is so fucking good in this, and so is Christopher Eccleston, and so is Billy Piper. It introduces the Rift in Cardiff. I think it's like the third or fourth episode of the first season, and it's got a couple of what impresses me the most about Doctor Who is like they have the best action figures, and it's got the Gelf and the Gelf, and they have a Build-A-Figure for them that I have. So you have to buy 5 figures to build them. Pity the Gelf. And I did that. That episode was watched by 9 million people, but it's just a regular episode. It was released in April, but it takes place during Christmas Eve, and you have Charles Dickens, played by Simon Cowell, reading some of A Christmas Carol in it. It's a Christmas special. So I consider that the 9th Doctor's Christmas special. And I like the episode. It's written again by Mark Gatiss. I'm not the biggest Mark Gatiss fan. I think most of his episodes, I think he's slightly better than Chris Chibnall. Slightly better than Chris Chibnall as a writer. He did Victory of the Daleks, which I kind of like. Lazarus Pit, kind of like it, or the Lazarus Project, sorry. And he's done some stinkers, like the Robots of Sherwood, which is just shit. He's acted in a couple things. I know he worked with Moffat on Sherlock, but just not impressed with this Doctor. The one great thing he did was An Adventure in Time and Space, which is about the first Doctor, which is William Hartnell, which was just a fucking love letter to William Hartnell and the BBC and the starting of Doctor Who. And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Came out around the 50th anniversary. If you haven't seen it, see it. But saw The Unquiet Dead, and I love it. It's got that Russell T Davies tragedy where is it Gwyneth? I think it's Gwyneth. She's in Torchwood later, but she has the sight because she's on the Rift, and she's tricked into helping the Gelf, but they are victims of the Time War, and they lost their corporeal bodies, so they're only in gaseous form, and they're using dead bodies. It's actually a pretty damn good concept. We lose one of the characters in it. She dies tragically. And that's something you see quite often in RTD is the tragic death of a character that Moffat kind of like dialed back quite a bit. But the performances and just the acting was just so fucking good. And I enjoyed that. So that was the first one I watched. The second one, so I did them in order after that. I did Christmas Invasion. Love Christmas Invasion. It's got a Arthur Dent reference. David Tennant's first episode, he puts the Doctor on like a fucking glove that just fits perfectly and just gets off running. No second chances. That sort of man. Then we have, of course, Runaway Bride, the first Donna episode, and some of the greatest. You might not see it this way, Brits, if any of you are out there, but you guys are really cheesy overacting is kind of a staple of the BBC, at least from our perspective over here in the States. So cheesy British overacting. So I forgot her name, but the girl who played the Rachnos it's so crazy and cheesy. I love it. My children. She's so fucking funny in that costume. And Yeah, I just crack up watching it. But you get a great scene with the doctor in that too, where he kills all her children, and Donna has to get him to stop. She's like, "Doctor, you can stop now." And she doesn't want to go with him. He asks her to go, and she's like, "No, you're a little crazy, but you need somebody, just not me." And then, of course, Voyage of the Damned. And then it was very hard to stay away from The End of Time Part 1 and 2, but I promised to see it with the guys. And we're going to go over just how brilliant that was. And I can't wait. And technically, it's a Christmas and New Year's special. So, and it's been 11 years since it's aired. A short, oh, that's supposed to be short dress. Now I get it now. Mahler and Az recently did my DNA, found out I'm basically Welsh, Scots, and Irish. Apparently, my ancestors didn't want to mingle with any lesser peoples, such as the English. Merry Christmas again to the fellowship. Love you, Az. And that is the Goblin King on the Streamlabs side for $5. Thank you very much. Yes, I did a D23 recently, and I was shocked. So I went through my entire life just thinking I was German. People always said, you have German features and stuff. And I just said, all right. I didn't know because I was adopted. We had a brief 1-paragraph summary of where I came from as a kid. Back in the day, they didn't provide much. So long story short, my mom was 16 years old when she had me in 1969. So it was not exactly looked upon well to have a teenage pregnant daughter, and both my sperm donor and my mom's stepdad were both deeply religious people. As a matter of fact, my sperm donor was a Jehovah's Witness. So they were very anti-abortion. And my mom said she never planned, she was always going to have the baby, no matter what. But they had thoughts of keeping me. They didn't. So I was born in a Salvation Army, basically, a place for, I always had the hardest time finding this hospital. And I find out later, oh, it wasn't a hospital. It was a place where teenagers went to have babies. So I went, okay. It was here in San Diego. It was called Booth Memorial. It's now a freeway on ramp. And all I knew about my mom was that she was like European, maybe a little Italian. That's it. So we did the D23, and I was like, I'm Scottish. I was like, what? Okay, cool. But it's weird not knowing or thinking it's wrong the whole time, and then you find out one day it's like, oh shit, I'm Scottish. Like pretty fucking Scottish. Like 23% or something like that. A little bit of Italian. Just all Northern European though. No Neanderthal. I was kind of hoping for Neanderthal, but it didn't happen. I hate when big fish steal all the talent from small independent creators, like how Gary poached Quarterblack away from that guy on Rumble. Congratulations, Garrett, and good luck to you both. Merry Christmas, says Wise Old Elf for $5. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to let Garrett, when we get to Texas, I'll let Garrett tell the story on how that all came about. What I will say now is when Garrett and I talked, the important thing about being, because like at first I didn't want employees at all. Like I was willing to risk losing out on stuff because I just learned the hard way that I am not a fucking general. I am not the kind of person who has the patience to do what something like what Jeremy does. I had at one time I had a pretty big staff at the comic store and I fucking hated it. But when I had a manager and one or two people that worked part-time, I loved it. And what I did was I found people who wanted to be there. That was this, that had to, and that was just something I had to figure out with my gut. And I wasn't always great at it, but you got to be into Nerdrotic to work for Nerdrotic. Not just like, oh, I want to work at a YouTube channel. That's not enough for me. I'd rather just do it myself. You have to watch my videos, be familiar with my work. And I mean, very familiar with my work. And it was the same way with the comic store. You can't just like the idea of working for a comic store. It's not good enough. You got to know your shit because the customers know their shit. You need to be able to stand up and have a debate about fucking Sal Buscema or somebody for a fucking hour, you know. You be ready to debate the qualities of like Steve Ditko versus John Romita. Like I can argue why I Steve Ditko was the pioneer, but I like John Romita more, and I think he actually developed Spider-Man to the brand he is today. Although Steve Ditko did start it, what we see now is a lot. John Romita Sr. had a lot to do with that, as far as the look, the brand, how we the costume that we see right now is basically a John Romita costume, that so on and so forth. That's why I gave him a little comic book test. Now they didn't have to know everything because I could teach a lot and you would learn a lot in the comic store through osmosis. And the customers were cool. So whatever you didn't know, they'll teach you. But you got to be fucking into it. I mean, every piece of it. You got like, I love alphabetizing comic books. It's not a chore to me. It is something like I find excuses to do it. That's why I love the real BBC. I get the bag and board comics because I like bagging and boarding comics. I get bummed when I'm kind of out. I've bagged and boarded all the comics I needed to bag and board. I'm kind of done. So I'm like, shit. So what am I going to do now? I could buy more comics, but I no, not right now. But Quarter Black is into the channel. Like that was important to me. And so is Perry, and so is X-Ray Girl, and that was important because that way they can. And this is my flaw. This wasn't really. I expected sometimes a little bit too much from my employees. I paid them well, but it's hard. You can't expect them to be into the business as much as I am. I have everything into the business, right? But you want them to at least know that that's how seriously I take it. Like I take it very seriously here. So when I put my work into it, like every bit of my thought every day goes into how's this going to affect the channel, and it's not just it's a passion based thing, right? It's not like strategic to the point where it's all analytics. That has something to do with it, but I didn't do a Matrix review. I could have probably got 100,000 views or close on a Matrix review, and I just didn't want to do it because I think, for one, I'd have to watch it again, and I don't think it's worthy of being reviewed. It's not bad enough to be reviewed, and it's not good enough to be reviewed. It's just bland. It's just fucking bland, and that's like the hardest thing to review. Going, well, this scene is bland too. Look at the next. Well, here's person with the shaved side of their head, number 6, doing a flip that you saw in the first Matrix movie, just more boring. That's not a very entertaining review. I'd rather focus on Hawkeye. I think Hawkeye was far more offensive to comic book fans and to the character of Hawkeye and to the previous MCU that Disney's purely trying to destroy at this point. But they understand all that. They understand what I'm trying to do. And despite what our detractors say, I don't shit. I go after stuff I feel passionate about. That's it. And if I don't care, I don't care. If I don't feel like it's a good example, and even if it is, If something becomes like, hey, maybe I'm not hating this movie enough, but we can there's something to be learned from this for me or for anybody else, then I'll try it. But then I have to watch it or read it. Did you know that Ellie is gay? Merry Christmas from indie comic creator Hot Grapes to my favorite pop culture YouTubers. Hail Friday Night Tights. Hot Grapes Animations for $5. Thank you. Ellie is gay. Gotta blank that one out. And for 10 Canadian pesos from Slosher, it says Matrix 4 sounds like hot garbage. It would have been interesting to have a plot about how most people don't want to leave the Matrix and maybe a group of humans who try to gain control to rule it. Yeah, because there's nothing to go back. Okay, let's play this all the way through. They free themselves from the Matrix. What do? Your planet has been scoured. It's done. The environment is completely fucked. What do you have to live for? So you'll have to rebuild. They'll have to survive and live. But I don't know how you tell that story. And I don't know how you make it exciting. So you beat the Matrix, and then 500 years later, they're able to get the atmosphere back going with Earth to get it leveled out. Or nature does it itself. Or they terraform another planet. But okay, you beat the machines. And fighting machines has been done and done and done and done and done. I think the most interesting place you could have taken the Matrix is it wasn't the machines. It was something with consciousness. See, that's what I thought they were going with Westworld. That's why I thought Westworld season 1, I'm like, this could be better than the fucking Matrix. I'm a fan of the movie. Big fan of the movie. But conceptually, it really was hinted at in the first season that of Westworld that they were going to play with consciousness. This isn't about man versus machine. This is a construct within a construct. And is it a computer algorithm, or is it something else? Or is it, who knows? And a very clever person could have, and I thought one of the Nolans would be that person. Unfortunately, he's I think Lisa Joy kind of brings him down. And Me Too Times Up fucked up Hollywood. And what could have been something great with Westworld turned into shit. I still maintain that you can watch Westworld season 1 and just pretend it ends there, and it's great. Tell me you got your nephew some hot toys. I don't know. He did a live stream earlier. Maybe he addressed that. His nephew is adorable. Agent Zero, thank you for the $5. Well, Gundam, you are getting coal this year. Santa knows what you it was you who sent the letter laced with anthrax and filled with mousetraps. Half the elves are dead and the others are already are really sore fingers. No, Gundam really, thank you, Getsberry, for $10. Gundam is not getting his Christmas present from Darkside Phil. There was a super chat asking Darkside Phil if he'd interview with Gundam, and he said no. And Gundam was brokenhearted. He was. Got a new job, so sharing some love. Also, a lot of you inspired me to start a YouTube channel of my own this past summer, especially It's a Gundam. So thanks for that. Merry Christmas to you all, says Cult Classic Cage for $20. Thank you. And I love inspiration. It's so much better than envy. And there's so much envy out there. Low watermark on the Streamlab side for $25 says cover charge. Thank you. Cover charge for what? For us? Well, you're in. That should get you a year pass. A year pass. Merry Christmas at home alone with the Coof. So glad you're all here with me. Use this to get X-Ray Girl some flowers. So whenever Ryan opens his yap, she can always remember there is still beauty in the world. LOL. Love ya, Ryan Kinnell, says Joe M for $20. X-Ray Girl's a saint for putting up with us. Sony Monkey 5 for $9.99. Merry Christmas, Friday Night Tights and Gundam, my favorite YouTube creator. My dad is in a tough spot with the C word. Oh no. And a head trauma. He's going to live, but his stubbornness needs to be toned down. Oh boy. Yeah. Sony Monkey 5, wish you all the best with your dad with the big C. My story didn't end well. I hope yours does. Merry Christmas, you nerds, says Stephen McCollum for $10. Thank you very much. Merry Christmas to you, nerd. Hail and Merry Christmas, Gary. It was great to meet you and Mrs. N this year. Friday Night Tights got us through the year. Bless all of you. Merry Christmas from Roman of the Empire for $4.99. Hail, it was great meeting you in Las Vegas. Las Vegas was fantastic. I can't wait to go back. Hopefully there won't be mask bullshit. Bollocks, as you guys say in the UK. Night before Grinchmas and all through the house, not a creature is stirring, and Ryan killed a mouse. The pizza was laid on the floor with care. Is there more of that? Eric K for $5. Thank you, Eric K. And Ryan ate a piece despite the hair. We can go on. Merry Christmas and go watch It's a Wonderful Life if you're down. Movie saved my life, says Spence for $10. It's fantastic. We didn't see it this year because Melissa said it's a little depressing. So we watched Love Actually instead. At least It's a Wonderful Life has a happy ending. There's a couple of unhappy endings in Love Actually, with the marriage with oh my god, Alan Rickman and she used to be married to Kenneth Branagh. She plays Trelawney in Harry Potter, and I'm blanking on her name, but it's not important. And then the other one was the sister who couldn't have sex with the underwear model because her brother had schizophrenia and stuff, and she stuck with him. That was a sad one too. And what's his name from Walking Dead? The actor's name. What's the actor's name? What's the actor's name? Andrew Lincoln from Walking Dead is in it. And he loses his girl to the operative from Serenity. And he gets over it. But he gets busted. He's got some video of the wedding, and it's all on her. And you see Andrew Lincoln there, and you're just like, oh my God, that's Rick Grimes. And he looks so young. And he's not going, Cole. Yep. But it had every British actor. It's a good movie. I do believe it's written and directed by the guy who did 4 Weddings and a Funeral. You know who wasn't in it? Was Simon Cowell, which is kind of, but Rowan Atkinson was. X3 Darth, X3 Bane, X3 Streamlabs for $10 says, hail all. I love when It's a Gundam is on. Can we get him on a permanent spot? Mahler is already hosting half the shows on YouTube, or I would also nominate him. Thank you for all the laughs. Happy holidays. We will have Gundam is going to be asked on. I would ask Gundam to be on almost anything, whenever, but I don't want to make him feel obligated, for one. And I think there are shows just that, like when there's certain panels that I wouldn't be great on. Like if Gundam and Mahler and Az are all talking about Resident Evil, I'm not going to be very good on that panel. I'm not going to have a lot to contribute. So that's what I try to keep in mind. It's all subject based, right? Our crew is as full as it gets. right now. Terry Spilsbury for 5 British pounds says, wishing all the ladies and jelly babies at Friday Night Tights a very Merry Christmas. Would you like a jelly baby? Well, I got to show off my Doctor Who custom figure in a second that I got. I got a custom TARDIS and a custom figure, and they're both rad. Hale moved from Washington to Oklahoma to start the year, and you all helped me in the transition. Binged Mahler's videos to start the year. Witnessed the G&G Snyder Cut saga and the real BBC and Friday Night Tights was much of my listening for my driving job. Austin Graham, that's awesome. I had one of those driving jobs back in the day too, and I know how instrumental, like, music will put you to sleep. You need people to talk to you, and it's important. And it kind of keeps you company because it can be a lonely job. So, Austin, thank you for the $20. I appreciate it. All good stuff. All good stuff. The Snyder saga. Yeah, we're gonna have to do that for Friday Night Tights. We're gonna have to go over like the stuff from the year that happened. I almost hate to bring up, I mean, the dramas are so far behind us now that, like, I don't mind talking about them a little bit. Just know this. What's the best analogy for this? If you guys remember, Dave Chappelle was talking about the Juicy Smollett incident. And he was talking about how, for the most part, black people were pretty quiet about it. And it's because they knew he was lying. And what Dave Chappelle said is what Juicy Smollett didn't realize was their silence was their support. I would hope that some people get that sometimes silence is support. When it comes to past dramas, my goal then, my goal before that, my goal now, my goal in the future will always be customer first. And if I truly believe in this thing I'm doing, which I do, the last thing I need, the last thing anybody needs, is you guys fighting with each other over some dumb YouTube shit where half the information is out there and the other half is either being omitted or completely lied about. Truth is out there. It's all out there. And omitting the truth is still a lie as well. It can be very disappointing. It can be very disappointing. Going forward, that's all I give a shit about. Keeping my eye on the prize. Not getting distracted from that. No matter what the fuck happens. And I think I do my best in that department. Can't say I always pull it off, but I do my best in that department. And that's why, Geeks and Gamers still growing. That's why It's a Gundam is got 600,000 subs. That's why Mahler is doing great. That's why the Critical Drinker is doing great. This channel is doing very good right now. Thank you. It has been for the last couple of years, so thank you. Friday Night Tights is growing. We don't fight with each other. And we genuinely like each other. It's not some kiss the ring bullshit. Mr. Riley for 449, as the story you shared on your stream earlier today really lifted my spirits at the time I needed it. So thank you for that. All hail, all you guys. Mr. Riley for 449, I will pass that on to Az. I'm sure he will appreciate that. Thank you. Papa Gundam is a hero we want and a hero we need. Merry Christmas and hail Friday Night Tights. Yes. Papa Gundam, I talk about watching shit so you don't have to. Look at what Papa Gundam has to watch. That stuff, I'm not going to watch that crap. Hell no. Saw No Way Home with my kids and had a blast. First movie I've been to since The Last Jedi. Holy. We need more fan service. Thanks for what you do. We need it, and we're winning. Love you all. Love the chat. Merry Christmas. Nostalgia Syndrome for $20. Thank you. Yes, this has got to be the year of fan service. I'm not going to say that's something you should do forever, but Hollywood has a lot of making up to do, and they're not going to get everybody back. I think it was Mandy Summers was on, I think, a Toxic Femininity. Yes, it was Toxic Femininity on Midnight's Edge, and she was going off pretty hard on and I totally agree with her. Like, despite, like, no matter how good Spider-Man is, or you like Dune, or you get something you like, that doesn't make everything better. We ain't close to making everything fucking better. And at least on this channel, it's not all Hollywood either. If there are people in Hollywood who don't feel this way, now is the time to speak up. And quite frankly, I don't care if it risks your job. Your job's at risk anyway. In Hollywood, your job's always at risk. But if you think with common sense and you just keep your mouth shut, so you can go pretend in something where you're going to be repeating lines that might go against your principles, what kind of fucking job is that? Might as well be working at Burger King. You would have more integrity working at Burger King. Is it really that important? One of the things thrown at us, it's not really thrown at me that much, but it has been a couple of times, that, with we're the anti-SJWs and we're the same side of the other coin, and it's because we're jealous and we want to work in Hollywood. I've worked in Hollywood. I chose to leave a career that I could have been just fine in and actually gone up the ladder and become a professional editor very quickly. I was on that path. I had a job opening that was coming up that I walked away from my Technicolor job, said, nope, I hate this place. I hate it. I hated the atmosphere, and I hated what it took to be successful there. It went against every aspect of my recovery. And I think it really would have, I was worried about my sobriety. I was really like, I would have to do a lot of compromising here on truth, on being honest. And that is bad, because to legit get a lot of places in Hollywood, you got to do a lot of bullshitting. Now you can make it on the lower level, middle class level, like, Robert Meyer Burnett's made it. Melissa's got a friend who's an actress who's never been an A-list star. She's just been guest stars in TV shows and stuff for 20 years, but she's managed to make a career out of it. But it's a fucking hustle. It's a hustle that you have to do all the time. And I had already owned my own business. I'm like, if I'm going to hustle, if I'm going to do all that shit, and plus I don't have to sacrifice my integrity, I'm just going to just own a comic store. It's better. It's fucking better. Owning a sandwich shop is better and more creative, by the way. The least creative thing I have done in my life, damn near including part sales, is working in Hollywood. I went there to be creative, and I was, everything I did, I was told what to do. And God, some of the people just sucked. They did. Merry Christmas, Friday Night Tights. You've made me beam this year in times when I otherwise wouldn't have. Thanks to you from the bottom of my heart. I hope 2022 continues to bear the fruits of your labor. Everyone, you're all so special, and we love you for everything. Much love. That's from Big Pig on the Streamlab side for $5. Right back at you. Whatever's going on here, however long it goes on, it's been fun. It's been a ton of fun. I've met a ton of great people. Hasn't been perfect. No, didn't expect it to be at all. Learned a lot of lessons. See, you can still learn a lot of shit at 50, and I'm sure in 10 years I'll still be learning stuff. You never figure this out. That's part of the fun, though. I think the best Xmas gift you all could give the chat is make Ryan do his DSP impression for as long as physically possible. I'll count you down. Ryan, you ready? We'll do it next Friday. Maybe we can start that way. Before we even do the introductions, we'll just let them go. Thank you, Big Pig, for the $1. For $2 says Gundam's here. Shit's getting real. Let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. Hail a Merry Christmas to everyone on the panel and the chat. Just to spread some good news for Christmas, the missus and I are finally getting married. Well, then she ain't your missus yet, technically. This Sunday after being together since middle school. Alt Shift M for $20. Well, congratulations on that one. That is good. There's something to be said about knowing somebody since middle school. I have known Mrs. Nerdrotic since middle school, and I can't put into words like this how strong our relationship is. And when you have the bond of like being a mom and dad, plus knowing somebody for that long, plus I have no secrets from, she has seen me at my worst, absolute worst, always had my back. So yeah, you can't put into words a bond like that. I say, I'm glad you locked it down. All shift in. When you have the kind of partner, woman, man, whatever, that gets you a Spider-Man pinball machine and restores it on Christmas for a Christmas present, lock it down. You lock it down. You know, Mark the Cyborg, lock down X-Ray Girl. She's a girl gamer, and he's a gamer. Lock it down. Animate Acumen for $5 says, Merry Christmas, all. It was weed. It was weed leaves a catnip Gundam. Oh, I thought you said cap. See, in prison, Animate Acumen for $5. Weed was sold in caps. And so it's how much weed you can stuff inside the bottom of a toothpaste cap. I think it was like $20. Nah, $10. Maybe $20 a cap. And you could probably like roll a pin or joint. So I didn't smoke weed in prison. I didn't get high in prison. But for a nominal fee, I would roll your joint for you. I would roll your cigarette for you too, because I got really fucking good at it. So I'd get that little cap of weed and I used to be able to do it with one hand. And they'd get like this perfectly. It's because people tend to, roll it too tight. And then you're just like sucking. You're trying to suck a fucking beach ball through a garden hose. Then it's all in the touch. So yeah, I usually trade cigarettes because I smoked like a fucking chimney when I was in prison. Avar Jantz for $5. What the hell is that crap on Jeremy's face? What the hell is that crap Jeremy's trying to grow on his face? I don't know. I was a little shocked. I didn't know he could grow facial hair. I mean, Jeremy still like wears Velcro shoes. I don't know if Jeremy knows how to tie his shoes. I mean, wears ripped jeans. He's from the South. It's okay. Dean Domino for $9.99 says, "Hail to the panel! Since all y'all are getting into anime, I would like to recommend the film Redline for crazy high-speed action like Wacky Racers, Pod Racing, Mario Kart." Okay, I'll check it out. It's like Redline BMX. Those used to be like the badass BMX bikes when I was a kid. If you had a Redline, fuck, you were rich. Your parents were rich and you were cool. I did not have a Redline. I had my Oakley 3 grips, right? I had my snake belly tires. I had blue snake belly tires on like a Schwinn. You know, I couldn't, yeah, my parents weren't buying me, weren't buying a red line. I love my little BMX bike. All right, we're going to check back on you guys real quick. Oh my, we got some more new ones. So we're going to get to the new ones now. I got to say the Matrix 4 did inspire me to do one thing. And I'm finding it very useful right now. Is one of my monitors is now portrait. Because I have 4 monitors. And the portrait monitor saves space, and it's good for anything text based, like my Twitter and all that stuff, or reading super chats. It's very good for reading super chats. Holy shit! Friday Night Tights is better than anything else. Love it. Let's go, Brandon says. Ged Billow for 5 British pounds. Thank you. I appreciate that. Spider-Man No Way Home was an improvement, but still not Spider-Man. MCU needs a 616 reboot, but will never happen. Merry Christmas, Gary. P.S. Where's Tom been? Tom, when he was started out on Friday Night Tights, it was as kind of a backup situation. He was supposed to come in when Garrett didn't show up, and that's back when we had 6 people. Less than that, we had 5 people. So Tom just kind of, what happened was Tom started showing up every Friday, and I was like, whatever. And we just let him on, and it just became a thing. I mean, because there was nothing set. It was a very casual friends hanging out live stream, so whatever. But then the panel started getting a little bit too big, too much, and occasionally, well, a lot of the times now we're having 2 guests or multiple guests, and Chrissy wanted to come on. So Tom is still around at a backup capacity. So when somebody like Tom could have come on Christmas Eve because we were down comics division, but I didn't want to hit him up on Christmas Eve. But Tom's very busy at Midnight's Edge too. It's very busy, but yeah, Tom still, we'll invite him back on if somebody's sick, but I got to kind of give him notice too. And we still have things are changing a little bit behind the scenes. Dittos, Gary, big fan. I am watching Curb Your Enthusiasm, and it dawned on me that Larry David could be Rick Sanchez in the R&M movie. Not sure if he's got the range, but he's got the look. Who's Morty? Well, that's a good question. MMM Martin 261 for $9.99. I have watched Rick and Morty. I have laughed at it. But I'm not a fan. I'm not a regular fan of it. No, I am a Venture Brothers fan. Hi, God. Thanks, 009 for the $13.99 Canadian, and Ged Billow for the $5. I appreciate it. Ged Billow for $5 again. Hi, Gaza, mate. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you. Merry Christmas. Happy Boxing Day. Stanley George for $10 says, love your channel and especially your Friday Night Tights. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's our Friday Night Tights. I mean, it started on my channel, but it's ours. Technically, the show started on the Friday Punisher season 1 came out. It's November 15th or 16th of 2018, I believe, or 17. Is that 17? Was that long ago? I think it was 17. Either way, X-Ray Girl has gone back and numbered the episodes at my request. We're numbering the Nerdrotic Nooners as we speak. That's going to take a while. But Friday Night Tights goes back 3, 4. I'm pretty sure. When was the Punisher's Punisher season 1 release date? All right, so Friday Night Tights had its 17, 18, 19, 20, 20. Had its 4-year anniversary on November 17th of last year. Wasn't paying attention to it. It's gone through different iterations with different hosts, going all the way back to when Dennis was here and John Reed was here. Susan from 1423 Elm was here. They all kind of left once I started getting involved in the culture war. They didn't want to get involved in that, which is fine. I don't hold it against anybody, but that's the direction I went, and people left of their own accord. Then that's when I invited comics on after Susan left. Comics came on, and then Odin and I spoke Comic-Con 2019, and we discussed bringing on geeks and gamers people. We were going to rotate. It was supposed to be rotating some geeks and gamers like Jay and Odin would come on regularly, and we'd have a couple of guests once in a while, but it was never meant to have guests for one. We just rotate in our friends, and then it turned into guests, and then we decided to, we tested it for a while, and then we're like, okay, let's full bore go for this, and we'll try to make it, we'll try to level up a little bit. Jeremy said, I'll be at the first show and I'll try to come back when I can, but I'm really not in the live streaming. Jeremy, I think, has missed 1 show or 2 maybe since it started. So we're at 178 episodes, and we've each, it's like every 6 months we double our audience, which is great. For Nerd Talk, I mean, if we got into political talk, it'd probably get bigger. But it's just, we're not going to get into political talk. We'll get into culture talk, but not specific political talk for any amount of time. Once in a while, sure, but we'll always be focused on entertainment. And I've had a lot of fun. It's been great. And it's, why it's great? Because it's not the Gary show. It's not the Jeremy show. It's not the Ad show. It's about our guests, and it's about all of us together. It's a good time, and Chrissy really fits in. Ryan was originally just supposed to come in on, Az was going to go every other week, and then Ryan was going to come in and fill in for the weeks he isn't there. But, Ryan was so good when he came in, because Ryan brings his fucking A game. That's the deal. It's like he comes to my channel, and when everybody comes on my channel for a night, they lose hours on their own channel. So that's a huge sacrifice. But that's why we trade off with live streams. And I think that's why when I go on a live stream, I give it my all. That's being, I don't know, it's just being cool. And I don't ask that. I just ask, the only thing I ask is they don't hold back. I think sometimes they do, but I wish they wouldn't hold back. But damn, that was a lot. 4 years. 4 years of Friday Night Tights. But I'd say in the current one that really just kind of blew up when Az joined us, that's been about a year and a half. About a year and a half. Feels like longer, right? Maybe it's longer. Michael B, aka Shogun Gaming, for 14 Danish krona. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Okay. I'll get back to those in just a second. Let me blank out some of these. Thanks for asking. Have a fabulous Christmas, all of you lovely, gorgeous, simply fantastic fellow nerds. A boomer, Gaybo nerds, salute you all. Hailsies says, I'm super for 5 British pounds. Ah, bless your heart. See, that's called having a fucking sense of humor. Okay? And this is the kind of thing we wouldn't question 5 years ago. So yes, we are regressing. When the people without sense of the people without a sense of humor are becoming the arbiters of humor, we are going to lose it. It will not exist anymore. We got to stop bending the knee to people who don't give a shit about anything other than destroying the system. I know it would likely be too much to ask for the whole panel to sing the 12 Days of Christmas, but can we at least get asked singing 5 Golden Rings? Oh, Jester of Roanoke. I wish I would have seen that. Maybe he did on his live stream. Sorry about that. Thanks for the $2. Hey, Papa Gundam, Nerdrotic, Chrissy and Company. I sometimes super chat you as Frank Zen. Could you shout out my new channel, Merry Christmas? Retro Wave Books. Check out Retro Wave Books. Now, I have not seen it. I have not vetted it, but the man or woman gave me 10 pounds and asked me to do it. So I'm going to do it, and I will check it out after the show. Retro Wave Books for 10 British pounds. Thank you. Tyrannus Cygnus for $5 says, Merry Christmas to the fellowship. Hail the lovely Chrissy and the beautiful X-Ray girl. Yep, bring in the ladies. That's me. I'm a ladies' man, except I'm happily married, so I'm not. Merry Aussie Christmas, everyone. Hail Friday Night Tights and Happy Boxing Day. I'm just going to follow it up with Happy Boxing Day afterwards, which Melissa and I celebrate. Hail to the fellowship. Just wanted to wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy Boxing Day from Australia. And thank you for being a little light in dark times. We're halfway through the dark. Little Doctor Who there. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you. Thank you, Daniel Anderson. Thank you, Mr. Anderson, for $5 Australian. The Zavaminator for $10 Australian. And Tyria Cygnus for $5. Austin Graham for $10 says, started a trade job on Monday. Can't thank you enough for what you do. Congrats, Quarter Black, and Merry Christmas all. Merry Christmas to you. Merry Kaijumus from Monster Island. All the little good kaiju are nestled in their dens, waiting for Santa Zilla, having some muto, eggnog, and reactor chips cookies. Cheers, everyone. From Gojira Star, 5477 for $10. Hail Kaiju. Just keep it in Japan, for Christ's sake. Let's go, Brandon. I agree. Joe Biden. It's an exact quote from Joe Biden. Joe Biden's husband. From Joe Biden's husband. You stole QB from us. Take good care of him, and we'll be seeing you in the streets. They don't call us the Mug Club for nothing. Casey for $5. I'll let Quarter Black. I am a member of the Mug Club. I got to make sure I don't show off any of my important cards here, but I'm a member of the Mug Club. We'll miss Quarter Black on Louder with Crowder, but glad I'll be seeing him here. Yes, you will. Yes, you will. Drunk 3PO says, Merry Christmas. Thanks for all the love this year. We love you, Jay. Shout out to Drunk 3PO. Shout out to Drunk 3PO. Thank you for the $4.99, Drunk. JS Pena for $19.99 says, Merry Christmas, Friday Night Tights crew. Here are some future guests I recommend. Force of Light Entertainment, Mr. H Reviews, Bonnie Rotten, Ulterior, Clownfish. We've had Clownfish on, and we'll have him on again. And, of course, guests everyone's been asking for, Gina Carano. Well, the door's always open for Gina if she wants to come. That's cool. I'm not going to, I sent one request in, but it was like when everything was happening, and it was like impromptu while a show was going. If I had to do that again, I would not do that. What the guy said, ask her. I'm like, fine, I'll ask her. Now, ultimately, it was my decision. I'm not blaming it on the guys. Wouldn't have done that. Maybe when the time's right. Force of Light Entertainment. I know them. They seem nice. Bonnie Rotten. I don't know. Ulterior. Is that, or is Ulterio or Ulteri a separate name? I don't know. I'll check it out. Clownfish. Of course, we'll have them back. They're fucking awesome. I'm open to having any guests on at any time, as long as that guest is cool with me asking some questions, especially if for instance, I wouldn't have a problem with that as long as they're open to some questions. Because I saw the whole Jack, what the fuck's his name? The Tim Pool stuff that was going out with I'm not I can't say what's going in my head right now because I want to call him something else. And it's Jack Murphy. I don't know anything about Jack Murphy. Okay. I know zip about him. I know he's got a beard. But I know there was like a thing with Sydney Watson, who I like and watch all the time. Think she's very cool, very intelligent. Most importantly, pretty fucking entertaining. That's somebody I'd like to have on Friday Night Tights. But that being said, I don't agree with some of the stuff Tim said about that whole brouhaha, and I don't know enough about it to have an opinion, but I'll say this. I don't care what people say about this channel or me. I'm not going to worry about it. It's got nothing to do with what I'm doing, especially when it comes from people who have no idea who I am, probably don't watch a lot of my stuff and go off of fucking thumbnails. I have no idea. And again, I don't care. It's a waste of fucking time. I don't let anybody slow my roll. That being said, if somebody really wants to come on the channel and I think they would add to the conversation and I think they would be fun and part of Friday Night Tights, I'm absolutely open to it. It just depends on the individual situation. I guess let's put it this way. I don't necessarily hold grudges. I can be, I'll forgive if people like genuinely apologize. And if it's, we're talking about slights towards me. If it's other stuff, it depends. Like, but I can forgive and forget in some instances. Other instances, I can forgive but not forget. It just depends. It depends on the situation. But in a lot of, especially the drama that happened earlier the year, I'm not the one. I don't need an apology from anybody. I'm not the one any people need to be apologizing to. It's not me. Gary Newberry, Dark Matter for $5 says, Happy holidays to all my favorite creators. What's up, Gary? Thank you for the $5. And happy holidays to you, Mr. Millennium, for $5. Merry Christmas, you beautiful bastards. Steve Reviews put out an amazing video demolishing Santa Inc. Have you seen it? No, I haven't. He would be a great guest. I will check it out, Mr. Millennium. Thank you for the $5. P. Gombe for $10 says, Hail Friday Night Tights. Merry Christmas, everyone. What's your take on Paul Feig's latest Ghostbuster Ultimate Blu-ray box set meltdown? His movie was fucking shit, and they want to sell a quality box set that I will now buy. Because here's what would happen in reality. If you added Ghostbusters 2016, some people would buy it and toss 2016, but it would cost you sales. Ultimately, it would cost you sales. They have done the marketing research. They know how unpopular the movie is. The movie is shit. And you know it's really important that Sony has learned that lesson and is refusing to fucking bend the knee on this one, and putting out a Blu-ray box set without Ghostbusters 2016, I think is a very good sign. Is a very, very, very good sign, at least from this one company in this one case when it comes to Ghostbusters. I don't know about the entirety of the culture war, but it is a fucking good sign. Good for them. Because they chose making money over the message. And honestly, there's no fucking message in Ghostbusters 2016. Paul Feig, you made a shitty movie. You know who's probably got the biggest, who's probably got every right to fucking complain? Your precious little fucking ego still got paid, right, shithead? There's people who lost money on that one, money out of their pocket based on trusting you. And one of those people was Dan Aykroyd. Yeah, I know he's pro cancel culture, and fuck him for being like that. Merry Christmas, FNT, as is Mr. Pig feeling better? I don't know. Black bin liner for $4.99. I'll ask him. Merry Christmas, you beautiful. Oh, I read that one. Thank you, Mr. Millennium. Brian M. for $5. Gary and Quarter Black should do a sketch with Crowder where Gary and Crowder compete in a special kind of auction for Quarter Black skills. Yeah. Maybe on our very last day for our channels. I don't know if I'm Crowder's probably. I guess I missed it. I'm gonna have to go back, and I need to go back and watch the announcement because I haven't. So I need to go back and watch, but I guess they mentioned something on the show. I have a lot of respect for YouTubers, whether I agree with them or not, who achieve what Crowder, and I like Crowder, by the way. What they have done, what Tim Pool has done. I know Jeremy doesn't like Tim Pool. I after meeting him, while I certainly don't agree with everything he says, and especially not the Civil War stuff, I thought he was all right, dude. Thought he was an all right dude. He was treated me very well when I was there. Was real nice. And again, I don't know about this Jack Murphy stuff though. Like, I don't know enough about it, and unless I'm gonna have Jack Murphy on my channel, I am not gonna fucking read that article. No, thank you. I'll just be ignorant about it and take your guys' word for it. But yeah, got to be careful what you put out on the internet, I guess. And nobody's an angel, and we got to be careful not to be cancel culture ourselves. But we also got to. I mean, if we're talking, I think I heard something about underage girls. Then yeah, then you're dead to me. I don't know if that's the case, though. I don't know because I haven't read it, and I'm not going to, because Jack Murphy is not a factor in my life. Gary Newberry, thank you once again for the super chat. I support my brother Jeremy, though, and whatever opinion he wants to have. Grimjoy, one of the best openings I have ever seen. I wish I could give more. Oh, Grimjoy, $20 is more than enough. Thank you. That's why I played it again tonight. Like, that was Perry personified. It was just beautiful. So well done. Did such a great job. First time superhero. Oh, welcome. Genuinely, it's my birthday in 2 hours. Hail to the tights and Merry Christmas. Oh, wine for £5 British. Well, then we just passed your birthday, but happy birthday. Happy belated birthday. And thank you for the super chat of £5 British. I appreciate it. Oh, boy. All right. Merry Christmas, everyone. My first super chat. Your Fellowship of the Ring video was one of the best I've ever seen. Can't wait for the first big meetup in Texas. Hail ya all. Argonath for $20. Thank you. Wow. I think we're gonna have to do something like that again. It really helps to have a murderer's row of just knowledgeable fucking YouTubers. Robert Meyer Burnett worked on the special features for the legendary Lord of the Rings DVD collection, which eventually became the Blu-ray collection, but the stuff with all the special features on, which a lot of the 4K stuff is missing. So you need to get those. You have to have those because it's film 101. Like, they caught lightning in a bottle with Fellowship of the Ring, and they showed it to you. You have it documented. Then you have just some guy who is scholarly with Lord of the Rings. Then you have me. I'm like, I'm a fan. I'm a huge, huge fan. I would not call myself a scholar in any way, shape, or form. Just a giant fan. Love diving into Tolkien's world and just swimming around and living in it. I'm a big fan of the here and now. I like escapism and stuff, but I like the here and now. But if there was a fantasy world or place I could live, it would be the fucking Shire. It would be the Shire. Of course, with my family. But I'm glad you enjoyed that. I had a great time. 5 hours. It was fucking awesome. Well, we're going to do something similar with The End of Time with Doctor Who in the next 3 days. So keep an eye out for that. And a few people, you guys really responded to that Fellowship live stream. Like, I have to do more of those. Nina Infinity for $50 Mexican says, Merry Christmas, Friday Night Tights. Love you guys. We love you too, Nina Infinity. And please check out her channel. Up and coming YouTubers, there's a ton of them out there. They're really good. They're really talented people. And more importantly, they're passionate and they like what they do. But there's something a little extra special about Nina Infinity. She does great live streams with John Talks. I really enjoy those two together. I think they have a great chemistry and they work well together. Nina is really good though. So keep an eye on Nina. She going places. Jack White, formerly of the White Stripes. No, not that Jack White. For $10 says, stuck at home because my parents both have COVID. At least I can listen to the Awesome People Die. PS thoughts on the Tim Pool RA situation and TYT slandered Tim. RA. Was that the argument he got in? Yeah, Tim Pool's been in a couple situations. Drama comes in fucking clumps. It did that over here too. It's just like there was like one thing after the other, and I'm like, God damn, this drama really has nothing really to do with me. It's all peripheral until somebody tried to make it about me. But Yeah, like you can't avoid that shit. I gave that analogy, Jack, of on the prison yard. Like I can mind my own business, fucking go to my cell, read my books, not get involved in any gang fucking bullshit, not gamble, not do any drugs, not fuck around with the the terms we used at the time were don't fuck around with the trannies, don't fuck around with drugs, don't fuck around with gambling, and you'll stay out of trouble. You'll mostly stay out of trouble. Don't live the thug life. And I didn't. I just minded my own business. I still got in fights. Still got in a ton of fucking fights. Because you know what? Some other guy has a bad day and he thinks I made eye contact with him and he's all, what you looking at, fucking punk? And the minute he calls you punk, you got to fight. Like there is no choice after that. You have to fight. So it's the same thing here, except you don't have to actually fight and get a nose broken or, bust somebody's face in or something like that. You get into the fucking theater of optics and drama. And but God, I'm so fucking glad it's such bullshit. It's a fucking waste of time. It's fucking childish. So yeah, I hope he gets by. Like somebody yelling at you on your fucking live stream. I mean, all us Monday morning quarterbacks can sit back and say, I would do this. I don't fucking know what I would have done. I probably would have yelled back at the guy. Like he's hitting my mics and shit like that, especially when he's that close to Lydia, I'd be thinking about Lydia and, not that she's a dainty little girl, but Lydia's nice. She's probably not prepared for something like that. And I'd probably shot the guy down. I don't know if it'd be great or not. The best thing to do on a live stream is to argue. If you're going to argue, then argue. Just don't lose your cool, because the minute you like the guy standing up, losing his cool and hitting the mic looks like kind of the bitch in that situation, right? Because he lost his cool. Like Tim kept his cool. So I respect that more. Like getting up and slapping shit. It's like, dude, what we in the prison yard? Are we fucking in high school? Like, what are we doing here? Are we going to fight? Are we going to fifth fight? Really? That's fucking crazy. It's yeah. He kind of came off bad. And I don't know who the guy was. That was my very first impression of him. So I don't know if he apologized later and they worked it out, and that's great. If they worked it out, that's great. I don't know if we need to talk about it anymore. Like the Jack Murphy thing, yelling at Sydney Watson. And I guess they worked it out later. But the part that got me was the fuck you, and that I mean that most sincerely. And he came off looking really bad. I can tell you that. He came off looking like a bitch. I guess they worked it out later, and that's great. Again, I don't know what was in the article. But if they worked it out and you move on, you move on. That's kind of my thoughts on it. Without knowing what's in the article. If it's really, really bad, then of course, I condemn it. But I'm not going to have any interaction with that guy that I can see. But yeah, that's my thoughts on drama. It's going to happen. You can't avoid it. The best thing to do is not perpetuate it. Don't lie. Don't fucking lie. And don't try to hide it, I guess they had to, Tim Pool said they had to pull that episode because there was some some terms said that a YouTuber, or no, that got somebody suspended. Like saltine crackers. They were talking about saltine crackers. So Tim said that's why he pulled it. I would have kept it up. That's why I re-upload all my shit, warts and all. Sometimes it can cause some shit. Oh well. Stuck at home because I read that one. Merry Christmas, you filthy animals, from Real Hydro PX. All right, so let's go to here. For the most part, though, you know what I love about what I do, despite some fragile egos out there, which I have no control over, nor do I care about. What really inspired me was the Vegas meetup, the little San Diego meetup, the Arizona meetup, the meetup in New York a couple of years ago, like the San Diego, the OG, the first meetup we did, Comic-Con in San Diego, made it way more real, like what we're doing. People can clown us. I don't give a shit. Like, it's when you talk to hundreds of different people and they thank me and Jeremy and others for giving them a voice. It's like, no. Like, you gave us a voice and we are the conduit for yours. The power is with you. It's always with you. Hopefully content creators can remember that. Going after the audience is never a good idea. It's never a good idea because the majority usually has the right of it, even if you're going after somebody who's an outlier. That's the same kind of shit they do to us. You know, they call all of us fucking racists and Nazis and shit based on what might be a troll account, like one or two troll accounts out there, which should certainly exist. You know, trolls have their place in society. I fully believe that. But as long as we move forward, keep moving ahead, we're having a good time, we're entertaining you guys, and most importantly, we're making you laugh once in a while. That's got to happen. I don't know about the informing thing. I don't want to sound too pretentious on, well, I'm here to inform you and teach you lessons and stuff. I don't fucking know about all that. I think we inform each other. You know, I think it's reciprocal. That's the way I see it. Makini Draws. What's up? Makini Draws, excuse me, for $10. Says 10% female audience. Sounds like some internalized misogyny going on around. Sorry, guys. I was sounding like a deranged feminist. My bad. Love you guys. Love you too, man. Check out Makini Draws too. Good dude. Good guy right there. Bay Area. See, there's good people in the Bay Area, and he is one of them. Merry Christmas, y'all. I want for Christmas is a flash from X-Ray Girl. I've been a good boy. I swear. No, Darth Dabs. She is married. So you're going to have to super chat her channel. I don't think she's going to flash you on my channel. I don't know. She sets the rules. Yeah, no flashes from my producer. No. Chris Burning, but thank you for the $4.99. And I mean, yeah, what are you going to say to that? I was about to tell a story, and I think my wife would get so pissed if I told it. So I'll tell it. She was riding in the back of Jesse's El Camino, and I was in Mike Nichols' pickup truck, and we were going, I think, to fucking either the Pinball Plus, which is the arcade we hung at, or we go to the University Town Center, which is UTC Mall in La Jolla, where they had a giant fucking arcade. She was in the back. I said, hey, show me your tits. And she did. She flashed me tits. So yeah, sometimes you do got to ask. But I wasn't like throwing her $5, you know, to El Camino. And she was my girlfriend already anyway. So Chris Burning for 5 British pounds. And I was fucking 16. Okay. All hail Friday Night Tights. This is my first super chat. And I wish to say thanks for keeping me sane over the age of madness. It is the age of madness, Kring. It's getting late, dude. It is the age of madness. Part of it, though, is, I mean, we are all connected. I think we were always this mad. We're just able to talk to each other now. And we're finding out that there's a lot of dipshits out there. And it's not just like garden variety dipshit. And I say that knowing that full well that I've been a dipshit at times times in my life. A major dipshit, like epically retarded dipshit. But there's a lot of dipshits who like will sound very intelligent. And then they'll tell you they're intelligent, but they're really like about as sharp as a boulder. Yeah. Get Billow for 5 British pounds. Merry White Christmas, gang. Keep the fun times rolling. X-Ray Girl rules. Spider-Man and Matrix suck, you guys. Wow. Okay. Hey, not everybody likes Spider-Man. I understand that. MTAX, because it is nostalgia bait, and it is purely reliant on its nostalgia for the story. And it does create narrative problems if you think that they took, it depends on what type of time travel they used. There's different types of time travel. And I think they use the same type of time travel from Endgame, which creates a ton of problems. Right now, as a fanboy, recognizing that at this time, people need a good time. And it did, I think it entertained most of the people. And that's all you can ask for. You're not going to please everybody, you know. So much for that echo chamber we're in, though, right? M Tax Shark for $10. Merry Christmas, all. My wife and I are enjoying a fantastic Friday Night Tights with having our Christmas Eve dinner. All the best to you and your families, and the best to you. Cheers, M Tax Shark. All right, we're going to get to some of the new ones, and then I'm going to get out because it is 1:30. Not bad. That's not bad. I was thinking it was like 2. Dante Rage for $5. I am so glad my 10-year-old daughter is into anime. Super easy to buy stuff for her. Just got her MHA bracelet. She was bugging out. Yeah. Oh, dude, it's great when your kids are into stuff because you know what to get them. I mean, my kids are easy. Ryan was talking about a Friday Night Tights. Steam gift card. I'm good. Give them $100 each on Steam. Like, they don't even want, they're PC gamers. So I'm like, do you guys want PS5 yet? My son's like, can I wait until we get, like, I guess there's an, like later on, we'll get the less buggy version will come out, kind of like it did with PS4 and PS3. So I'm like, yeah, are you sure you want to wait? Because I'll get you one now. And he's like, yeah, I'm good. I'm like, I'm a lucky dad. Wolverine Sneak for $20 says, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all. Quarter Black, welcome to the fellowship. Friday Night Tights, Geeks and Gamers, and Arcade Nation. Love all of you. Love you too. Love you too. And we got up and comers. Like I said, lots of up and comers. We got George the Giant Slayer. We got Culture Casino. Stephen Walton. Sporking. Mike H for $4.99. Have a Merry Christmas, Friday Night Tights. Thank you. Cheers. I appreciate it. If Nerdrotic gets banned from YouTube, will Quarter Black go to Geeks and Gamers? I don't know. Billy Mack for $10. That actually had nothing to do with it. But Steven Crowder's coming back in January. But again, I'll let Garrett tell the story. But it's been in the works for a while. Like a while. Merry Christmas. Hail. Love you all. I told Santa you were all good this year. Thank you, the nerdy Ronin. I appreciate that for $5. I feel like I had a great year. I had a great year personally. Despite all the bullshit, we're all still breathing. My family's together and they're happy. Chalk it up as a victory. Samwise the Brave for X-Ray Girl. Well, Christmas bonuses went out. All right. Alex Southern for £5 says, "As could I pay you 1,000 British pounds to watch your live reactions if you rewatched all of Batwoman?" I don't know if he'd do that even for $1,000. All of Batwoman? That's a lot of time. Alex, I'm going to shoot this to Az. Okay. I'm doing it right now. A super chat. And that is Alex Southern. All right, Alex, I pass that on to Az, and I'll let you know what he says. I'll let you know what he says. All right, we're going to be able to finish Friday Night Tights. I think we've got like 7 or 8 more. I'm going to get to some of the new ones, but yeah, I don't want to leave any Christmas ones behind. Okay, what do we got here? What do we have here? Shang for $15 says, on the Streamlabs side, says, "Merry Christmas from Singapore. I recently finished my compulsory 2 years of service in the Army, and they told me that getting a vaccine is not a mandate. I'm still unvaccinated. This is from a government famous for being authoritarian." Ah, God damn. Wow. Just wow. Peter Davison, thank you for the $10, 10 Australian dollars. Say hi to mom. Merry Christmas to you. Okay, let's see. I don't know if I'm a thanks. Hail to Gary, the SoCal sex machine. That's what I am, Marty Gray. Sex machine. Thank you. 5 British pounds. I appreciate it. Yeah. There was a here. What's this? And we got David Alexander. Thank you for the $1.99. I appreciate it. Then we have Harmon D for $4.99. Love you too. Thank you. Says love you, Gary. Thank you. I appreciate that. Scrolling up. How are there 1,800 people up right now? I know some of you are in Australia. It is 1:34 a.m. on Boxing Day. Merry Christmas. Wanted to say thank you all for the Friday Night Tights and other streams I've been able to watch or catch. Been helping me get through another extremely rough year. Hi, Anaffer for $10. Thank you very much. Like I said, it goes both ways as far as like you helping us. And what I think is to come this year is I think people are finally tired of the bullshit. And listen, there's going to be the Eric Julys of the world, the Nerdrotics of the world, and other people who were saying this shit 2 fucking years ago who are going to be fucking frustrated. When people start going, COVID's probably going to be part of our lives as it gets less and less strong. As each variant turned, we have a headline out there, and I checked, and it was real. It's very hard to tell the difference between the common cold and Omicron. Then it's the common cold. I mean, bodies aren't piling up in the streets. If bodies aren't piling up in the streets, get your ass back to work. Period. End of story. Now, Now, all of the conspiracy theorists just look right. They just fucking look right. Great Reset, totally believe it. Always did believe it. Now it's power. Now people are moving to red states for freedom in America. Think about that. People are moving to Florida and Texas for the same reason people came to this country in the first place. Opportunity. Opportunity. You can no longer get, like, opportunity is no longer a thing in California. They're also moving to Idaho and Wyoming. I mean, it is a mass exodus going on across our country. People are fucking escaping New York. New York's going to go on a 1970s decline. And for those of you out there old enough to remember that, it was bad. Now, I'm not going to say it was the Warriors, but you know what? Gangs used to be able to get away with murder regularly, all the time. Wasn't the thing. Gary, you and your family have a great life in a new place. FNT rules, and please add Nina Infinity to the group. Sexy and true nerd, says Ged Billow for £5 British. I have talked to Nina, and I still, because I've promised to bring her on, and I have an idea. I mean, like, our crew is full. Our crew is full. It's packed. We can't anybody else or become a total shit show. But we had Nina on Real BBC. Might bring it. Well, I'll definitely bring her back if she wants to come back. But no, we're working on something. Well, I say we, the royal we. But Nina's awesome. Merry Christmas from Pete Davison. Thank you very much, Pete. Where did that go? As is brilliant, X-Ray Girl is sexy. Lower her down to forwards, Gary. Chrissy Mayer is a treasure. FNT rules. Let's go, Brandon. Ged Billow, thank you for the £5 British. Yeah, we were considering lowering X-Ray Girl's word count. She's getting a little talky, a little jibber jabbery. I agree with that. We'll look into that. Especially with the female audience numbers down, her talking obviously isn't helping. Merry Christmas to all. Watching some Christmas movies with my younger brother. Die Hard, Last Boy Scout, Demolition Man, Total Recall. Some he saw for the first time. Great fun. Have a happy new year. Says Andre Moldeski for 100 Czechoslovakian pesos. That's awesome. For one, good big brother. And I'll tell you, your little brother and my son watched Die Hard for the first time and fucking loved it. Good for him, man. You just showed, like, you're going to be a legend to him, because that's equal to, like, there's a scene in Almost Famous where the sister gives the brother a bunch of fucking records and says, listen to this shit. My sister did that to me, and it fucking opened my eyes to a whole new world. You just did that. Gary, just want to say thanks. Your no bullshit reviews and pop culture commentary is amazing. You are the source for all news. Love you. Keep it up. You shine more and more. Wow. Kyle Butler, thank you for the $9.99 and very kind words. I'll try not to disappoint you. I will try not to disappoint you guys. You honor me. Gary, you and your family have a great new year, and Friday Night Tights is brilliant. Thank you, Ged Billow, for £5 more British. I appreciate it. I want to highlight all of these. I think I got that one. Gary, have you ever considered doing a show where you watch and review and comment on anime series? Jack White for $5. Maybe in the future, yeah. Like, if entertainment really... Here's the deal. If entertainment does not get better, and I mean, like, within the next couple of years, I'm going to have to. Like, fortunately, I have been just far too busy to cover Star Trek Discovery. It's not even worth my fucking time anymore. I've got a San Francisco. I'm back to work tomorrow. San Francisco video, Hawkeye review coming out. Hawkeye's got to get out soon because I've got a lot to fucking say on that. And then I have a video planned for New Year's Eve, a big one, and I need to have time to work on that. So I'm going to be recording all fucking week. So the nooner live streams are going to be a little inconsistent again. When Garrett jumps on, they're going to be very consistent. Big changes in the live streaming department. And why don't maybe we can start out with that being a segment. How's that sound in the future? We'll start as a segment, and then if people like it, then we can turn it into a whole thing. It's all a matter of time. Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Jack, for the $5, and absolutely open to it because I'm going to have to at some point. Shit don't turn around soon. I need to enjoy stuff too. Tell your viewers to watch The Lodge and Fat Man, Gary. They're brilliant, mate. Okay, watch them. Says Get Bello for £5. Scrolling up. Wow, so many of you here. Thank you. And again, thanks to the Nerdrotics for being here. Eric K. I think I saw Mark Lazarth in there. Just another red shirt. Thank you. Friday Night Tights is better than anything else. Oh, okay, I read that one. But at least you got it highlighted again. All right. Now we're going to go down here. What is this? David Alexander, Escaping New York worked for Kurt Russell. Merry Christmas. It did. It could work for so many others, right? Reminds me of those movies, Escape from New York and Escape from LA. That's what it really does. You know, where he was just somebody was just talking about Demolition Man. We're headed to that world. We're headed towards a Demolition Man, Running Man, 1984 world. Thank you for everything you do. Thank you for everything you do and the rest do. It made my holidays so much better. Keep standing up to the man, says Nate S for $10. Absolutely, Nate. The man is a fucking pussy. That's why we have to stand up. The man just has a lot of money and power, but the man ultimately is a pussy. And we can make the man bend the knee. The man already bent the knee, but to the wrong people. Oh, they sounded like the good people. They are. We're for inclusion and diversity, and we're for the little guy. We're trying to help the marginalized people, the people that we call marginalized, the people that we marginalized. I'm sorry. No, I correct. The people that we call marginalized are counting on us because they're not smart enough to take care of themselves. So they need us, these smart people who marginalize them. I'm sorry. Take that back once again. The people who are marginalized need us, much smarter people who are usually elite white liberals who are second or third generation wealth that didn't even earn it themselves, so they wouldn't know a fucking thing about earning anything. They're going to help the people that they that they call marginalized. And they call us the racists. I got hospitalized due to the peekaboo, to a peekaboo accident this Christmas. They put me in the ICU. What? How is there? Is that even like? I don't know what's real or not in the chat. So you could be totally fucking with me right now, Marty. I hope you're okay. Either way, whether you're fucking with me or not, it's okay. And thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Gary, I just wanted to say I hope you had a great holiday. I did. And have some cheddar on me. Thank you. Jesus Davila for $10. I really did, because I got to hang out with you guys and hang out with Friday Night Tights and hang out with my family. Like, I got no complaints other than like Matrix sucked and Hawkeye sucked and the MCU is going to shit. And my beloved comic industry was sacrificed for some semi-decent superhero movies that are going to be forgotten in 10 years. And they fucked over Star Wars, and Doctor Who, my all-time favorite show, was completely butt fucked. Other than that, I'm good though. Keaton Smith, thank you for the 99-cent super sticker. Keaton, cheers. Cheers. We got a $20 super chat up here from the historian for $20. Says Yellow Flash says companies should be supported when they do good. That Umbrella guy and Raging Golden Eagles say they should be boycotted. Who do you agree with? I think I am going to continue to do what I do, which is point out, mock, and actively boycott. But fact of the matter is, I bought a ticket to Spider-Man. 25% of that money went to Disney, but that's the most money I've spent on Disney in a long, long time. So that's a difficult question for somebody who covers pop culture. I have to cover pop culture, so I have to watch shit and review it. But if you're asking me as a fan, all this shit would be dead to me. I'd be done. If I wasn't on a channel, it'd be boycott. It'd be no fucking money. And for the most part, they don't get any money. Yellow Flash still buys comics. And Yellow Flash and I disagree on this, and that's fine. I love Yellow Flash unconditionally. We have different schools of thought. He reviews stuff. Like if I have to buy a comic to review it, I'll do it secondhand. Sure, Marvel's still getting the money. They're just not getting it from me. Everything I get, every hot toy, everything secondhand. Unless it's like a Warner Brothers. Like I'll buy from Warner Brothers. I'm buying from Warner Brothers. I'm about to start boycotting them. But I gave up Marvel and DC comic books forever. I'm done. But the only reason I bought tickets for Spider-Man is it was going to sell out. So I couldn't buy tickets to another movie and sneak in like I have been doing. I had to buy the tickets to cover the movie. Plus my kid wanted to see it. That's a rare exception. It's a very rare exception. But I am more of a school of thought now. We need to gatekeep and boycott. We need to show our strength. We've been nice for too long. And as far as supporting them when they're doing good, they're getting supported. And right now, it's kind of working out in our favor. It's Sony. Now, Sony's a giant corporation, and they're fucking woke. They're going to do woke shit. But maybe, just maybe, they're looking, and I think they are. They want to be number one. Every studio wants to be number one, and Sony has a path right now. There is a path to defeat Disney, and they can do it. All they have to do is not make woke shit, and they'll start beating Disney. No, they don't have a streaming service, and that's good. That's good for them because this streaming service was everything to Disney's future, and they're hamstrung by it because it's great to have it's something studios have never had. They've never had a steady stream of income. But the way giant mega corporations are set up, which is not the kind of capitalism I'm not into. I hate regulation. I do. If there's billion-dollar companies, so be it. But billion-dollar companies need to produce billions, billions, and billions, and always billions and billions. And, I loved having a fucking small business where, like, you know what? I broke even 2 years in a row, and I'm not like, I don't have to worry about stockholders and all that shit. It was fine. I broke even a couple of years in a row. Big deal. Not very good for a business like that. So there's a path. Sony can defeat Disney. And, we've had an effect. But Disney's most importantly had an effect on themselves because they've produced crap. And we've been telling you it's crap. And eventually the spell breaks. And the mightiness of the Marvel brand is not that mighty anymore. People will put up with one shitty movie, maybe even two. And somebody said this in a video last year, but they're not going to put up with 3. And that's what we saw, what happened with fucking Black Widow, Shang-Chi, and the Eternals. And listen, Shang-Chi's a bad fucking movie. There are people out there defending it. That is a good movie. It is a bad movie. It's not as bad as Black Widow. Black Widow's worse. Eternals is worse. But Shang-Chi's a bad fucking movie. And all these people defending it. So you're going to go back and watch it 6 or 7 or 8 times? Because that's what a triumph is. If you're talking about a fucking triumph, fucking 2001, A Space Odyssey, that's a triumph. Star Wars, triumph. You're saying Shang-Chi's in that league? Fucking triumph. Shut the fuck up. It's an average, mediocre film. It's garbage. It's mostly garbage. Forgettable. Trash. And I don't like having my intelligence insulted by having a bunch of people telling me something's good that just clearly isn't. And I think you feel the same way. So people are tired of it. So there was a time I was more Yellow Flash. I was more like, support people when they're doing good. I'm still going to buy some shit because I'm a fan. I'm into it. Now I'm gatekeeping motherfucker. Gatekeep, boycott. Spider-Man is a very special case. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, I'm buying a ticket to another movie and I'm sneaking in. That's how I'm going to watch it. I don't have this channel. I'd probably see Doctor Strange because it was Sam Raimi. I'd probably see Spider-Man. Wouldn't watch Black Widow. Wouldn't watch Shang-Chi. Wouldn't watch the Eternals. And would have dipped out on all the D+ series after 2 episodes. And just got and fucking read Lord of the Rings or something. That's what I used to do. If something was bullshit, I just walked away. But now it is my occupation. It's my occupation. So what I do is I try to do something a little different with it. I try to find enjoyment, and who knows? Maybe like there's a case where it starts out slow and there's a good episode. You always got to give something a try. And I love Marvel. I do. I want it to do well. I want it to be better. But it's not going to be. And it's sad to say, Kevin Feige either doesn't have it or he never had it. I don't know. Victoria Alonso, is she in charge now? It sure feels like it. Sure feels like Kevin Feige's kind of like on his way out and somebody else is in charge, doesn't it? Or maybe he's just a fucking sellout. I don't fucking know. I don't know. All I know is it sucks. And I'm not going to give it money, and I don't think you should too. I don't think one fucking Spider-Man movie makes anything fucking better. They hate you. They hate me. They've called us racist, bigots. That's fucking fantastic. Spider-Man will be the one thing we can point to going, you know what? This movie didn't call me a racist and a bigot. This movie didn't fucking hate men. This movie treated everybody equally. This movie had fun. This movie was escapism. And it was easy fucking money. Like, they're acting like they're geniuses. This is shit we've been asking for years. So they got 1 out of 10 things right this year. It just happened to be really right. And it blew apart all their bullshit narratives. So I wouldn't say things are getting better. If you want to vocally support something done right, I would say that's fine. If it's an individual thing. But it's up to you. It's ultimately up to you. I don't want to tell you what to do. But I ain't giving them my money. They don't deserve it. Not yet. Not fucking yet. Spider-Man is an anomaly. It's right back to business. Did you not see The Witcher? Did you not see Hawkeye? Did you not see The Matrix? It's right back to fucking business. And Hawkeye is just as bad as Loki. I don't know if anybody saw that finale, but holy shit, was that bad. A good question, though. And like, listen, I like all 3 of those guys. I respect them all. I'm a gatekeeper motherfucker right now. I'm pissed. Especially after watching 6 episodes of fucking beautiful Doctor Who and watching what happened to the fandom when the Tumblr hot topic crowd fucking took over. The ones who buy fucking buttons and fucking pop vinyls and watch like 10 minutes of episodes so they can tweet about it and don't give a fuck about classic Doctor Who, or the the activists who just wanted the Doctor to change to female to own the fandom because they're bitter fucking little fucking turds. I only do it to support my local comic shop. If they go under, I'm done. I like the owners. They're all good people. Yeah. Oh, that's all good, Yellow Flash. I understand that. So he's buying comics because he likes the owner. I go buy back issues and stuff. That's how I support my local comic shop. I buy back issues, toys. But yeah, I mean it's tough. Like, when do we, because I don't have the answer to that question, because I take each thing individual. I mean, it's each individual occurrence and how it affects the overall big picture. Like Matrix, I didn't do a Matrix review because big picture wise, waste of fucking time. This thing's gonna be forgotten. There's nothing to learn from it at all. Hawkeye, something to fucking learn. They took Kingpin, the best fucking villain, and they fucking cucked him in 10 minutes. This is why I'm not giving Disney money. Fuck them. But it's tough. We love this shit. Like Yellow Flash, that Umbrella guy, lifelong passionate comic book fans who have been turned off. The kind of fans you want, the kind of fans who would drop a couple $100 a week in a shop. Believe me, that's a godsend to a shop. Yellow Flash, thanks, buddy. You know I love you, man. Hey, Gary, what do you think of the Tom Holland Uncharted movie? Not much. They just released a trailer I saw in theaters. Looks all right. At least all the characters feel right. Think modern day Indiana Jones mixed with old pulp fun, says the Grizzly for $20. I wasn't into the game. So I'll probably take my kid to go see it. Like, who's distributing it though? I gotta see. I don't know. Tom Holland is I think he's just one of those actors who's going to look like a 20-year-old boy his entire life. So I don't know if he's going to grow up to be a man. I mean, I don't hate him or anything. I think he's okay. But yeah, Grizzly, to be honest with you, it doesn't move the needle with me that much. I have friends and my kids like the game too. I don't feel anything about it. Thanks again to Yellow Flash for this $20. Thanks, man. Keaton Smith for a 99-cent super sticker. Thank you very much. All right. Let me refresh this. Fucking 4 monitors. Excuse me. Mark Martin. Hi, Gary. When I saw The Matrix Resurrections, this is for $50, by the way. Thank you. Says, I had to ask where the Wachowskis on drugs and consult with the MCU, and tells them this is how you write a crappy film with female leading characters, and the main character is just a shell of himself, barely a shell. Like, his acting was shit in that movie. It was fucking terrible. It was his acting in that Bill and Ted movie that came out last year. Remember that one? Was better. Michael B, aka Shogun Gaming, for 14 Danish krona. Thank you for the unicorn. Just Mall for $49.99 says, Merry Christmas, Gary. Thanks for all the good stuff. Hail to the fellowship. Congrats and getting out of Cali. Thank you. Thank you very much. Kung Fu Hot Dog for £5 British. Gary, hope you had a great Christmas. You've been an inspiration for me. Also, Vigo's Ranger intro in the first Lord of the Rings is so badass. Hail to defeating the woke. Hail. Oh, yeah. Smoking a pipe. Fucking loved it. I don't know what his name is, but around these parts, they call him Strider. Fuck yeah. That's just like, that's fucking testicles fucking flying out of the screen. That's what it is. Painting a picture for you. What's up, Gary? Watch your vids and tune into Friday Night Tights every week. Thanks for calling out Hollywood's bullshit. I'm a screenwriter out of college, 2013. I'm doing the YouTube thing now because Hollywood is too close-minded. Merry Christmas. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be an option for creative people anymore. I don't think it is. I really don't think it is. Because you can't be creative when you have part of it blocked off to you. Like, nope, you can't tell that story. You can't tell a heroic story. You can't do the hero's journey. You can't do the chosen one. Or people, oh my God, the chosen one, the chosen one, the chosen. Oh, wait, how many times we can do the girl's the key to fucking everything? It's the same thing. The girl's the key to everything is the fucking chosen one. You're just doing the chosen one with tits. It's the same fucking thing. There's only so many stories to tell. And you get rid of the hero's journey where there's a bunch of manzels everywhere, then yeah, dudes ain't gonna see that shit. Dudes are never gonna change society, world, reality. We're born with this thing called testosterone. We can't really fucking help it. Not that we want to do anything about it, but we can't. Some are trying. I don't know how well it's working out. Haven't seen the science on that other than suicide rates, but I digress. Reggie, 1971, LA for $20 says, Merry Christmas, Gary, and Happy New Year. Good luck with the move and welcome to Texas. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Jack White for $5 more. More suggestions for Friday Night Tights. WCBS Crew and EVS for Friday Night Tights. I could recommend Jack White. You go back and look on Nerdrotic Live. They were both on multiple times, I do believe. You can go check it out. Gary, Gary, do you want to see John with Azor Ahai sword? Do I want to see John with the Azor Ahai sword? We are not going to see John with the Azor Ahai sword. Kelly Johnson. That is a red herring. They tell you Marwyn the Mage, right towards the end of A Feast for Crows, when he's talking to Sam at the Citadel, he says, I'm paraphrasing here. He says, somebody of Gis, I can't remember, like Garwin of Gis or whatever the fuck he says, prophecy is great. It's wonderful. It's like having your dick sucked. It feels so good. It feels so sweet until they bite your dick off. Then your moans turn into screams. That's the nature of prophecy. So George is telling you over and over again that the prophecy will probably come true, but Azor Ahai will probably be a fiery Valyrian steel sword plunging into a Daenerys heart or something. And that will be the key to either appeasing the White Walkers or defeating them, or John will become a part of them. I have no fucking idea at this point because he's told us nothing. But I think they A lot of people think they're in league with the children of the forest. I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think what Dan and Dave knew were elements of George's ending. He gave him like, hey, Bran's going to be king. John's going to kill Daenerys. Hold the door. That's from the books. He said he confirmed that was for the books. Cherie being burned. That's from the books. That's going to happen. What else feels? And they feel like George, like John going to the wall. That feels like a George R. R. Martin thing. I can't see them killing Theon though. Like, if you're gonna kill Theon, then kill fucking Theon. But Theon's surviving, like having his dick cut off and everything. I think he survives. I don't know if Tyrion survives. I don't know. Arya's dead for sure. Arya's gonna die alone. She's never gonna reunite with her family. Just think bittersweet. So, what George, if he was smart, he would continue on his path of, the good is going to defeat evil, but not everybody we like is going to live, and a lot of people are going to change sides. That's what he likes to subvert things, but he likes to subvert his own characters and his own expectations that he sets up, which is perfectly fine in your own story. But I don't think John will be swinging the Azor Ahai sword. I know there's Lucifer Lightbringer, who's a raging SJW, thinks everything is going to be like we have Preston Jacobs, who thinks nothing is magical, and then we have Lucifer Satan guy, thinks everything's going to be magical. I think it's really in between. I think magic is waking up. But you know what I think? Here's my theory for A Song of Ice and Fire. We'll all be theorizing till the end of time because the motherfucker's not finishing the book. The end. To clarify, I am pro-human rights and pro-freedoms for all. Woke should mean enlightened, aka the new stage of human evolution. But some people in Hollywood, being woke is ego disguised as progressive, using platforms as tools for their own gains. Will Meldman for $50. That is beautiful and true. And absolutely true. Absolutely true. It's all fucking ego. All right. The woke's biggest weakness is how easily and happily they'll eat their own. Merry Christmas, says Lord Vengeance for $10. And that's going to be our best weapon. Trust me. Kevin Cole, thank you for the $6.99 Canadian. I appreciate it. Hey, Gary, got an opportunity to meet you in Mesa, Arizona. Meet up and had a few words with you, my buddy. At JGun09 introduced me to you before I knew who you all were. Been watching ever since. Thank you, John Makita. I appreciate it. I do. Just an FYI, Texas has a hog problem. You might need to take a bow hunting. Merry Christmas. Safe move. Thank you. I'll just shoot the motherfuckers with a gun. Can I do that? I'll just use my wife's gun and shoot the motherfuckers. I'm okay with that. I'm a YouTube content creator. I don't go out much. I just don't. This is the least I've gone out in my life in the last 3 years. I mean, the coof had something to do with it, but I'm a camper. I'm a hiker. I do all that shit. I go off-roading. I do all that shit. I haven't done any of it in 3 years. All right. I'm not going to get to everything, you crazy maniacs. I was doing a super chat square up to do the holiday specific ones. And I got too many. I got to go. It's 2:17. I got to get to bed. I'll make sure I read these ASAP though. So late art for 650 Czechoslovakian peso says, can't stay behind. Hi from Czech Republic. Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas to you too. I had trouble watching Shang-Chi on the open seas, fast forwarding to the good parts. I only like seeing the Abomination, kind of. It was not good. Thank you, Meat was odd for $5. I agree. And seeing the Abomination like made him a fucking joke. Dude, they took the Kingpin and they cucked him. He got beat by Kate Bishop. And then there's guys going, ha ha, the Kingpin got beat by Kate Bishop. And it shows you what kind of fans they are. Like, oh, you're enjoying that. Like, you enjoyed that. Oh, you like pop vinyls, and your entire MCU reference is MCU. You're not a Marvel fan. You're a Marvel Cinematic Universe fan, and not even like the good bits. Bring on November 2023. Hopefully Doctor Who will come back strong. Flux was appalling. Lockdown is no excuse for the writing. Cybermat strikes for $5 Australian. It's not. Is that the excuse they're using? Chris Chibnall sucks. Lockdown, not lockdown. He just sucks all the time. What do you think Disney would do now their investors saw Spider-Man's success? They started questioning Happy Boxing Day and Happy New Year. Xan for $187 for $5. Thank you very much. We're going to end it on that one. What do I think Disney is doing? Nothing. I think they think it's cameos. So they're doing reshoots for Doctor Strange to throw in more cameos. Maybe ask the Fantastic Four from the Fox series to show up because they think it's the cameos. And they don't understand. Like, for one, they're fucked by not having the most popular character in the world, Spider-Man. And having America Chavez in there at all is disrespectful to all the fucking America Chavez is a nothing character. It's another lame ass character that doesn't have a costume. That's easy to cosplay. It's another Sana Amanat type of character. Yes, she came in before. No, I didn't have a problem with her because she was some chick from another dimension who just came in once in a while, but then they saddled her with two lesbian moms and this stupid shit. It's like, whatever. They had her like usurp Steve Rogers to punch Hitler. And it's like, fuck off now. Now I don't like the character. I didn't went from not caring to now I don't give a fuck. And I see her in a Doctor Strange movie. And here's what's going to happen. Doctor Strange isn't going to fight a bad guy. He's either going to fight Wanda or himself. The only bad guys you're going to see superheroes fighting are copies of themselves or their bad fathers or women, which they can't fight. So they're just going to like pretend I don't want to fight you and all that bullshit. We've already seen it like 6 times. How many more times do we got to see it? Like, what was so fresh about Spider-Man? Nothing. It was just a normal superhero movie. We just haven't seen one in a long time. There's nothing groundbreaking in the fucking movie. They just gave the fans what they want. And on the where do we go from here thing with Spider-Man No Way Home, I praised it. I absolutely praised it because it was a good movie. I enjoyed it. I'm not going to lie. So the best thing we can do is be honest, always going forward. The one thing you don't need to doubt from Yellow Flash, from Raging Golden Eagle, from Tug, they're honest. They're going to tell you the fucking truth. And that's all you can ask. They stay consistent. We stay consistent. We tell the truth. And hopefully common sense wins the day. All right. And thank you for always keeping us honest out there. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for being the smartest audience out there. And that goes for all of us watching Yellow Flash and Tug and Jeremy at Geeks and Gamers and Az and Drinker and Mahler. EFAP audiences. They are sharp. Thank you for all the support. Thank you to the Nerdrotics for staying up late. Thanks to everyone who left a super chat and a donation. Just a quick hello. We'll watch stream after work. Thank you, Christy Ann Solis. I appreciate it for the £2 Cheers. Happy Boxing Day. Yeah, so thanks to everyone who left a donation and a super chat. It really does help. We thank you for all the support. I will do a very short live stream from the room from my phone, walking around showing you this madness before I start taking it down. I'll give you an idea of what the new studio is going to look like. Yeah. And again, thank you for everything this year. I've still got a week to go, so I got some videos to work on. But what I'm grateful for this Christmas is my family. I love my family to death. I love them. And the friends I've made here, who are genuinely some good dudes out there, like Yellow Flash, like Tug, like Az. There's some really good people out there. And they're rare. They're rare in this weirdness that's fucking YouTube. So, wait. Short E for 449 says, my mom got me the companions figures from season 11. She was like, oh, you like Doctor Who? And they were only £1. Not that Doctor Who, ma'am. Oh my God. You just go, thanks, Mom. Yeah, fuck them for doing that. So yeah, once again, just thanks everyone. I appreciate all of you, and it's been a lot of fun, and we'll get right back to it. What am I doing tomorrow again? Oh yeah, I'm recording videos. So I think I was supposed to do something. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do that. So Monday, I'll keep an eye out on Twitter, and we'll see if Az and Mahler and I can coordinate this. It's very tentative right now, and it could change because Az is traveling tomorrow, and yeah, I'm going to be recording videos. So hopefully very soon, our Doctor Who, The End of Time, Part 1 and 2 stream, because I just would like to gush over that. And Friday Night Tights, I think it's just Mahler again. I think and see if we'll get some other people come on too. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. We're going to end the year. We're going to go over our best moments and I don't know. Probably talk about the latest stupid thing for 4 hours straight. That's what we tend to do. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, remember, not all who wander are lost, and may the wings of liberty never lose a feather. And let's one more time enjoy the greatness that is Perry Chan.
Sopra i cieli ancor più su, dolci canti gli angeli, e dai monti fin qua giù, portan gioia ai deboli gloria. In excelsis Deo, gloria. In excelsis Deo.
was great. Good night, everybody. Merry Christmas. Happy Boxing Day. Happy New Year.